Oh, she's a wonderful looking horse, John.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, and I'm hoping he'll go well.
50. Shootout is 480 out to 650. Tolospree is racing. Good luck if you're alive. Let's go up to Adam Olzanski for his call of race 6.
And only a couple left. Stipler says go. The Bletchingley field underway and Royal Ida towards the tail with 500 metres left to go. Illumino just in front, a half length. Plenty of room for Shootout to come through. Keno stays on 3 wide. Velocity looking to get clear. Then the grey stands out. Tolospree banking on some luck there on the fence as they start to straighten. Royal Ida angles out. Then Apprehend and Secret Flyer into the home running. 250 left to go. Velocity gets the run now. Goes through after Shootout on the fence and stands out plugging away. Royal Ida right down the outside. They're lined up. Stands out, reaches the front from Shootout, who fights back. Shootout, he's the shooting star of this spring. He wins by a half on Stands Out, and Velocity was third. In behind them was Royal Ida and then Keno. Behind those was...
Well, what a star this bloke is. Shootout, first time in Melbourne, first up, and he went 50 yards, and you knew he's up in box seat, this horse. He's going to be in this. He out strong at the finish. Shootout. He's got Cox plates and cups on his target, and he wins the Bletchingley Stakes first up at 1,200 metres. No excuses away from anything else here.
He's nowhere near ready, mate. He'll just improve and improve. He might be really, really good, this horse.
A clear favourite for the Liston Stakes on the Tate. 240, but and that is the Melbourne Cup winner of last year. There's the Tate Market, and in the ring, 290 now about Shootout. But
Shooting as well. Monaco Consul. Big bet market mover is the favourite. Shootout, number 11. Best backed at a price is Semiline Warrior, number 4.
Shocking. So Carrara had the lead, a length and a half. Sterling Prince second, Predatory Price a half third, and Monaco Consul fourth the inside. Shootout was wider out in a bunch with Sailor Gear, Tolospree and Chamoline Warrior. A length Heart of Dreams getting up on the inside from Vigor Apprehend, and they're followed by Zavit Murian and Shocking. It's Carrara and Predatory Price are cornering together from Sterling Prince, Chamoline Warrior running on. Shootout wider, Vigor came deeper, Heart of Dreams, Monaco Consul stayed the inside. Predatory Price takes the lead at the 200 from Carrara. Here's Shootout and Vigor both running on well with Heart of Dreams near the inside. Predatory Price tackled by Shootout. Shootout race to Predatory Price. Shootout got the head in front, and Shootout wins it by a head. Predatory Price 2 lengths away. Heart of Dreams third. Monaco Consul might be 4 from Vigor. They're very wide.
in terms of being up early in the spring, fitness-wise.
He's nowhere near ready. He's nowhere near ready, mate. I've just been playing about with him, you know, so he might find it harder next start to beat Typhoon Tracy 1400, but after that, look out when he goes a bit further.
I mean, it's obvious progression, but when do you start saying he's Caulfield Cup, he's Cox Plate, or he's everything?
He'll win the Cox Plate.
Okay, well, he's settled already.
I told you.
Okay, but you want that grab of you where you just said, he'll win the Cox Plate, mate. You don't regret saying that?
No, I probably do now today because I think I was in a bit of a hurry yesterday, but I'm hoping he can win the Cox Plate.
Will he win the Cox Plate?
He'll be hard to beat.
Very well, but that I keep coming back to that point. You know, if the best of our older stayers are horses like Zavit and Jessica Biel, and the best of our middle distance horses are Zipping and Sermione, and it will be the year of the 4-year-old.
Right, we'll get to them shortly. Here's the beaten jet is the favourite for the Cox Plate with Sporting Bet. Was as high as $9.
Everyone, I thought Shootout, he just keeps winning.
Yeah.
What a great early campaign he's having. I'm just terrified that it's such a long way to the next, to the big races. That's what worries me.
Not totally satisfied with quarantine, so hopefully we'll get to see Jaguar Male here. Steve, I thought Shocking yesterday did enough to say he's going to have to do because he's going to have 4 or 5 more kilos this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today, some with the run under their belt, but the market you can see.
Yeah, well, the big go on Thursday was Parables when it was $8.50. It's now under $5.50. The other, it's now third favourite at $5. Look, she's going to improve it.
Silver Shadow Stakes. Obsequious.
In front of a couple of runners, Dance of the Ocean, one of those with Parables has got back to second last, and Lohan is last of all. He's let this run today, Solar Charge. 3 lengths Obsequious running second. Chance Buy is third from Biggie 2-pack, and then More Strawberries in fifth and being ridden along, followed by Ellen Bari, Slow the Flow, Golden Millennium, and then Dance of the Ocean, Amber's Waltz as well back, so is Parables, who's held up for running between horses, and Lohan is last of all. Solar Charge, the leader, coming into the straight, led by 2 and Obsequious swing a little bit wider. Then Chance By, followed by More Strawberries. Dance of the Ocean, Ellen Barry, and Parables back to the inside, but Solar Charge has got them all off the bed. It's in front as they run down with 150 to go. Chance By and Parables are chasing him with Obsequious. Parables is coming at Solar Charge. Look at Parables! She flew over the top of them and won it. Beat Solar Charge, then Chance By. Then at the head of the others next, Ellen Barry. Swing a little bit wider. Then Chance By, followed by More Strawberries. Dance of the Ocean, Ellen Barry, and Parables back to the inside, but Solar Charge has got them all off the bed. It's in front as they run down with 150 to go. Chance By and Parables are chasing him with Obsequious. Parables is coming at Solar Charge. Look at Parables! She flew over the top of them and won it. Beat Solar Charge, then Chance By. Then at the head of the others next, Ellen Barry with More Strawberries and also Millennium.
Well, the wraps on her were right. Number 7, Parables, just her 4th start. She is now the winner of the Silver Shadow Stakes. Little Solar Charge did everything right, but this filly on her inside was just too strong. Parables for Tim Clark.
And with Liverpool Silver Shadow Stakes, Clarkie, she's one of the best horses in Australia, this girl, I'm telling you.
Outstanding win, wasn't it, Rich?
Snowden knows a lot more than that. Here's Pete. Skilled winning the Champagne. I think this filly's outstanding.
Yeah, I think she could be the next budding superstar. But
All right, it's about 11 minutes to start time. Feature race on the program here today. This is the Warwick Stakes, Richie.
Yeah, Caroline just won 5. 5 to 4 in the old is Dan Lee. $13 for Metal Bender. Sniper's Bullet on track. Metal Bender 13 out to $15. Sniper's at Mooney Valley. Let's go. There's Den Lee going in.
Been well-supported dealer principal at longer odds. Now, Brilliant Light goes up into the
Sniper's Bullet wider out off the track without any cover. Desperado even wider, followed further back by Dan Lee. Now he's about midfield and he's bottled up between horses. Metal Bender over on the inside, followed by Get Up Jude and then Run for Nara. Triple a long way back, followed by No Wine, No Song. Purple and Cannon Costa is near the tail as they round the home turn. And Thesio just in front of Brilliant Light. Sniper's Bullet coming up on the outside. Dan Lee's about to shoulder into the clear. He's only a length and a half off them, followed by Desperado. Dealer Principal back near the inside, and Triple Honour is running on strongly down the centre. It's Triple Honour moving up with Dan Lee. Metal Bender getting an inside run. It's Metal Bender, Triple Honour and Dan Lee, the Waller trio. Metal Bender won it. Metal Bender beat Triple Honour and Dan Lee. So Waller gets first, second and third. And then we've got further back Thesio with those horses next. Purple out wide. Cannon Costa running on from...
I think it just goes...
Stud in New Zealand. English interims there on the screen, 14.70 and 3.50 for the winner. 3.10 Triple Honour, $1.40.
All in all, on the day, disappointing because she was very heavily back there.
The Tui's new to have for the Group 1. Tui's new Golden Rose for 2010. Here's Tui's new to have for the Group 1. Tui's new Golden Rose for 2010. Here's Mark Sheehan.
To his decision time making ground, and Crystal Lily is rushing forward and she'll go up into second spot early on. Then at the head of the others, Sasa. Oh, there's trouble there. Chance By got skittled and got knocked back through the field to midfield. Then Patapeak followed by Hinchinbrook. Masquerader back along the inside. Turak Toff in the second half of the field, about 3 wide. Top drops out at the halfway mark. Squamosa led. Sasa working to second on the outside, and Crystal Lily found a nice spot. She's inside of them in third. Then decision time followed by Jibe, Chance By. Further back was Panapeak, and then at the head of the others, Run for Levi, Hinchinbrook. Top drops out very wide. Masquerader buried back on the fence. He's coming off the rail now. About 5 or 6 off the lead. The leader is Squamosa, led by a length and a half from Sasa. Crystal Lily. Then decision time. Turak Tops working home down the outside. Masquerader still a fair way backwards. Squamosa, he sprinted away with about 200 to go. Decision time, and Turak Top are starting to lengthen to go after him. Squamosa's in front. He's on tired legs. Turak Toff lunged on the outside. Turak Toff won it. Turak Toff got there on the line and beat Squamosa. Not sure third. I love this city is there with Sasa, Masquerader and White.
This horse now a Group 1 winner. Those Colts, Rick has done just such a wonderful job over the years. A stallion making trainer with Canny Ladd, and also as
big finish, and going on to win it by the ill-fated Shower Heart, who was making a real name for himself in Queensland, ridden by Damien Oliver. Squamosa
able to win. Here's the interference early on, Mark, and just shorten him up a fraction.
Yeah, well, he didn't miss a couple there. Crystal Lily got it, Jibe got it, Chance By got flattened, and Run for Levi got flattened as well. So he cleaned 5 up.
And it put a couple of the others probably a couple of lengths further back. And
I must admit, the third horse, what is it? I love this city. Did look a bit unlucky. Yeah, probably one of the best things beaten I've seen in a big Group 1 in a long, long time. I love this city. He
saves you that 3 metres that wins the race.
Yeah, look, all in all, it was a good, tough win. And look at, I love this city in the red hat and the black, just getting out now. When at the top of the straight, they were together, and he was held up.
Yeah.
And look at him sprout wings here. Geez, you have to feel for the connections there. There's a
Taranko Stakes, and we welcome back More Joyous, who is the favourite. The course down the race, I haven't had a chance to have a good look at her, but we have heard she's put on a lot of weight in her.
Bit More Joyous. She looks ready to win, looking at her. The 600 by a length. Avenue is second to Lightning Ridge box seating. Sister Madley fourth. Then Seeking Attention Girl. Hustler More Joyous about to come to the outside from Hide and Dash. Olanana next. Off Command getting a run in the centre and Break Card last. Electric Dreams is the leader by 2. Avenue starting to chase it to Lightning Ridge out into the clear with Sister Madley. More Joyous coming down the outside with Girl Hustler. So 4 or 5 across the track here. Electric Dreams being joined by Avenue. Sister Madley in the centre. More Joyous joining in on the outside with Girl Hustler. More Joyous has got a head in front. She'll carry the big weight. First up, she's Dynamite. More Joyous beat Girl Hustler. Photo third. Sister Madley or Electric Dreams. And then...
It's
Andy Mayer. You've just seen the Epsom winner, in my opinion. She's got blistering speed. She's got the most sensational turn of foot. And she's just on the improve. I mean, whatever she's done today, there's so much improvement, I can't tell you.
Oh, what a star. What a star. Oh, this was a big go. The punters of Fairnickham cheering all over the country. That was the biggest tip you can get from a rival trainer.
Steve, you know, when Richie went on that walk of his for charity, it was fantastic, and I think he went to Randwick to Warwick Farm. Well, if More Joyous wins the Cox Plate, I'll do a walk with him next year, and when I get to Warwick Farm, I'll keep going all the way to Flemington.
That's on tape, are we now, Barry? For More Joyous.
Oh, we're all cheering More Joyous now.
It's unlike one of Gay's to get back that far. And is it going to head to the Cox Plate?
Well, it's going to head to the Cox Plate. But I think we've got...
Main event of the day, the New Zealand Bloodstock Memsie Stakes. Let's have a look at the Super Tab readout. On track with the bookies and on the tote. Punters have got real dramatic action in the...
The punters are with Shootout. Can the horse of the year, Typhoon Tracy, beat Shootout?
By the 1,000 metres, and Typhoon Tracy had an easy lead, out by a length. So You Think in second placing, 2 lengths away. Shootout doing it tough at the moment, out 3 deep field. Typhoon Tracy leads by a length and a half to So You Think, a half's abrasive, and moving up Shootout on the outside, followed by Who Begot You, a length and a half. Veldemoro, Bucciolati, Sermione making a move as they came to the corner, followed by Bright Night, Moatees and Faint Perfume. Typhoon Tracy leads in the Memsie around the turn from So You Think's abrasive, Who Begot You, and then came Shootout into the straight now, and So You Think given full ball, raced up to tackle Typhoon Tracy. Who Begot You's in the clear, he's starting to run on well. Shootout was battling behind them, 3 across the track. So You Think hits the lead, but Who Begot You the danger. So You Think, Who Begot You. So You Think responding for Steve Arnold. So You Think is back, 3/4 of a length on Who Begot You. Photo finished for third. Shootout finished hard, and Typhoon Tracy battled away. They were followed closely by Zabrasive, Veldemoro.
So You Think is a star and wins like a star should. Runs down, Typhoon Tracy disappointing. Who gave you the feeling that, once with that run under the belt, onwards and upwards?
Yeah, I think he's, sky's the limit for him. He's already won a Cox Plate as a 3-year-old. Obviously, we know he's a good horse, but he was giving me an unbelievable feel today.
Congratulations. He's on board, an absolute star in So You Think. Let's find out who the future's here. Battled away.
There's a group of good horses there.
Did he give you the feel of a damn good horse?
He did, yeah. He's pretty special. When you ride him, he's you can't take your eyes off him looking when you just see him walking around the yard. So,
They told me he looked great in the yard. I wasn't there yesterday. They told me he looked fantastic. So with So You Think coming back with a bang, the Cox Plate market has certainly changed. Plenty of reassessing here. So You Think $4.20 to defend.
Want to lay into. He's a real good horse to winner, isn't he? Could be the best horse in Australia. First up there after such a long layoff. He's had a wind operation.
You can't win a Cox Plate as a 3-year-old and not be a superstar. You just can't do it.
With half the throat, because I think he can hardly breathe. He's had the wind operation. That was a sensational performance. When someone like Stephen Arnold says he's a freak, you got to listen, because he's a pretty hard bloke to excite, and he even had a bit of emotion there past the post, giving him a bit of a pat. I've never seen that side of Stephen Arnold. So He could be a special racehorse. Well, we know he's a special racehorse, but he could be even better than that. So the next couple of runs are going to be interesting. Look, yeah, shoot.
Number 8 is Mudra, the third of Shane Templeton's early male specials, joined by Kieran Maher, the trainer. Mudra is super impressive over 1,400 metres, trained on for the 17.
Yeah, I don't reckon the distance will worry him. Just he's got a bit of an awkward draw, but we'll leave that up to Craig, and hopefully it's
Her place. The Minerva Rose coming up into her place, and Belsenica and Soul. Dealers a half in front of Nipsius. 3 lengths away is Pinnacles, a length and a half, Hissing Sid. They're followed Soul Diva, Apprehend. Further back, 2 lengths away, Muir going up on the outside of Triumphant Choice, and Belsenica swinging around the turn now. Diggers and Dealers still by a length in front from Nipsius. Pinnacles, Apprehend. Here's Mudra starting to come down the outside now. Diggers and Dealers went to the 200 with Mudra going up strongly, followed by Apprehend, and down the outside came Belsenica. Diggers and Dealers clearly headed by Mudra, who moves away from the field. Apprehend and Belsenica coming home, but it's all Mudra, and Mudra came clear, won it by 3 lengths to Diggers and Dealers. A good job to stay on second, a half Apprehend third, and then came Soul Diva and the Minerva Rose amongst the tail enders.
Well, if we needed confirmation that he's a serious horse, I think we just received it there. A listed race over 1,700 metres, draws the outside, has to go back, a lot of speed on, and Craig set him a task and said, show us how good you are, boy. He went around the whole field, and on the top of the
Well, I said months ago he's the best horse I've seen come out of Warrnambool, and I don't think I'm going to be proven wrong for a while.
No, full credit to you there, Shane. I remember you spruiking this horse back.
Naturalism?
Naturalism. Does he go there?
He'll go there, the 2,000 metre race, yeah. It's another step up. Yesterday, he did run the last 600 about 6 lengths quicker than any other horse in the race, including those who set out at the back and made a little round late.
He's got to turn a foot, Steve Budd, in the staying race. Either fast tempo, slow tempo, he can still sprint either way.
Look, he looks awesome. But I suppose those last 3 wins have been on the minimum, or half over the minimum. He's got to keep doing it. I suppose
this horse is trying to qualify him for the Cups. I remember someone saying he reminds us of Alco Pop last year, and boy, oh boy, does he ever. But look, he's a 5-year-old. He's still on the limit in these sort of listed races, so he'd be a long way down the order of entry in a Melbourne Cup. Look, it's a very hard race to qualify a horse for now, the Melbourne.
Is the Toad favourite, clear Toad favourite, 320 out of the Castro, Jungle Ruler and Savcore. Jungle Ruler, Savcore. 2 here is Largo Lad, the enigmatic Largo Lad, Shane, who can pull a run out fresh.
My word, he can. Look, he's a big, strong horse. I don't think the weight will worry him. The barrier won't, because that's the way he likes to race, get back and run on. There's been a bit of cash for him at long odds. He's a Blamey Stakes winner here, Group 2 level, and he has won twice fresh. I think he's right in the mix, Bruce.
Evenly with them. Sacred Orders Syndrome begin fast with Nicastro. Sapcore isn't too far away from them, settling into stride, and Largo Lad dropped out to be last of all. Sacred Orders length to Linton, who gave the speed about 10 or 12 lengths. Then came Saddler's Story, Test to Jester, and at the end, delayed reaction on the inside of Largo Lad. So Sacred Order's the leader. Jungle Ruler 3/4 away as they approach the turn, and they're 2 lengths Nicastro. Poised to win the rail 4th. 2 lengths away then Syndrome getting away from the fence, and they're followed by Savcore, Saddle Bari. Then Mr. Baritone and Linton peels out to the extreme outside, and Largo Lad got onto his back. Jungle Ruler went for home early in the straight, got up to Sacred Orders. Nicastro called on 3 lengths away, and then Syndrome. There's a fair break to Linton. He's giving the speed about 7 or 8 with Largo Lad on the outside. Jungle Ruler the leader. They come to the 200 metres. He's a length and a half. Nicastro, now Linton and Largo Lad. They're coming. Jungle Ruler by 2 with 100 to go. Linton coming home with Nicastro and Largo Lad. Jungle Ruler just in front. Big boy Largo Lad dives at him. Got him. Largo Lad, the last stride, I'd say, beat Jungle Ruler. Linton and Nicastro in a photo for 3rd. Syndrome boxed on. Saddler's Story got home along the rails, and this big fellow will get the money.
He sure will. There's a photo to prove it. 2 Largo Lad, the big loper down the outside. Breaks a long run away from the winners list for Stevie Arnold. Don't know what to expect from him, but they'll be satisfied as well.
Largo Laddie, they bet $16, so there was a few punters who remembered that he can pull out a very good run fresh. And
welcome back here to Flemington for the Maccabi Diva Stakes. This is the feature race this afternoon, Group 2 level. Many of these for an update shortly from the betting ring. But Vigor leads the market from Dan Lee, who's shorter in New South Wales. No,
Shocking continues to drift out to 21. Now, Master O'Reilly.
Consul fifth and then Heart of Dreams. He's out 3 wide, being followed by Chartreux. Rebel Raider on the fence. 1 further back is Danley. Then a length away is Murian Shocking, followed by Master O'Reilly. A long way back, Sailor Gear, followed by Zavit, and then Dr. Fremantle and Delandy last, about 12 first to last. 600 left to go. Sterling Prince only narrowly from Vigour on the outside, and Speed Gifted a little wider out, and then Heart of Dreams. Red Ruler Monaco Consul ridden along. On the outside, Danley as they swing for home, and further back is Chartreux. Rebel Raider near the inside, and then came Shocking and Sailor Gear passing the 400 metres, and Vigour burst to the lead now. Speed Gifted goes with him, and Heart of Dreams. Ollie's starting to wind him up now, and they're clear from Shocking running on, and then Dan Lee. Heart of Dreams got up level with Vigour. Here comes Shocking on the outside. Vigour, Heart of Dreams and Shocking. Shocking racing up to Heart of Dreams and Vigour. Shocking the cup winner. What a great performance. Shocking wins it by a half. Heart of Dreams. 3/4 Vigour third. Danley Wren fourth. Then Sailor Gear, Monaco Consul, Zavit, Sterling Prince followed.
Kilos more in the Melbourne Cup this year than last year. On that performance, he's a 6 kilo better horse. He lined them up top of the straight and runs past him. He doesn't win second up normally. He's come back in brilliant form, this horse. I'll have to watch the replay.
This is a darn good horse, a really good style, we know that. But, gee, I reckon to my eye, Sam, he's even better this year. He looks a better horse. And
different horse. He switched from
20 years. There's only been 2 horses win the Melbourne Cup with more than 56, Maccabi Diva and Jern. It's an interesting one.
Jern.
Given that he...
Favourite here in Shocking, Mark, because last year en route you were beaten by Elko Pop. I think he's the forgotten horse. I know I'm a big Elko Pop fan.
Rosehill Gardens on Mad About the Hat Day. It is the Sebring Sprint, formerly known as the Theo Mark Stakes, and we have a pretty quality sort of a field here. More Joyous, $1.80 on the tote, and the favourite first out winner in the Shirako Stakes. She's $2.30 on course, and it seems a battle of the 4-year.
4 to move up. Centennial Park Snipers will drive. Walling, Brilliant Light, a bit stirring in gate 1. Off now. And Rothsay began only fairly. He's going to settle down about midfield, and More Joyous came out very quickly, and she'll get across easily in the early stages to Tyre's Choice last of all. So no excuses for the leader, More Joyous. She's still in front as they come into the straight. Leads from on the outside, Desperado and Sniper's Bullet. Then Brilliant Light, drum beats. Rothsay still back on the inside. He's looking for a run on it. And then Black Piranha as they turn for home, and More Joyous came off the inside, but she's full of running. She's well clear from Brilliant Light. Then drum beats. Rothsay is starting to give chases into the clear now, but he'll want to get moving because More Joyous looks all over a winner at the 100. She's 3 in front, and she'll absolutely bolt in. She'll win it easing down. More Joyous beats Rothsay. Drum beats third. Then Black Piranha, followed further back by Centennial Park. Then Desperado.
Special. She win that. She really, Gay said, and Gay's given to hyperbole that yesterday she said this horse is not the best, not better than Tuesday Joy, it's better than Sunline. I said, Gay, drop off. And now you can ask her about it. I asked, she was serious, and now.
Yeah, well, they put it on a platter for her, though. They were 49-1 for the first 4 furlongs. So, you know, you're going to have to be pretty good to be running this sort of horse down. But physically, she looks a different horse totally. And she's winning with dominance now. If she can hold her condition, the sky's the limit. Obviously, the Epsom the next run, and then deciding a Cox Plate after that. But Richard did point out some very...
Now, she'll win, and Terry Bailey to the end. I'd be very uneasy because it could be a Dane Ripper, Sunline, Epsom, Fox Plate. I mean, she does look pretty awesome at the moment. I take Mark's point, relatively soft lead, but she was explosive, and I think we are going to see the very best of her this time around. I think we've got.
Significantly, she's really starting to blossom. Last preparation, she was a bit of a whippet, wasn't she?
Well, we only got a couple of runs out of a last preparation because she falls to pieces after a couple of runs, which some horses can do. But maybe it's just a maturity thing. Look, an absolute ripper. I just can't speak highly enough of her. I can't wait to see her again running in an Epsom or something. You know,
I agree with you. I think she's thinking of the star. And I believe
mare too that runs along. This one's adaptable. Look, I've said for a long time, this is as good a mare as I've seen for a long, long time. Her pedigree suggests that she's going to get further as well with all of her.
We're here up to race number 6, the 1,300-metre Schweppes handicap, 0 to 72. Han Nibley comes up the favourite, $1.20 if you're 1,300 here. He won by 7 lengths. He was just caught a bit flat-footed for mine when the sprint came on.
Leaders. So too on the fence, Monteon. El Omni about to make ground. Niblick still well back, coming to the outside. And last of all, as they turn, Jewel Hemisphere Inside the 400 metres mark, Turing well away from the fence from Will's Power. Wider out Eggy Pop, Niblick the deepest runner. Monteon stays to the rail. They're well in the straight. Will's Power serving it up to Turing. Niblick winding up down the centre, starting to come fast now. Will's Power in front. Niblick's chewing up the sand on the outside. Moves up, takes the lead from Will's Power. Niblick's a class above. Sprints away to win it. Second goes to Will's Power. Dual Hemisphere third from Eggy Pop, Al Omni, Turing and Monteon.
It was a good win, and we saw something different from him today. Collect with his very
first look in Melbourne of the WA Flyer for Johnny McNair now in Haylist, who leads the market on the tote at 240 from Reward for Effort.
That's where it's settled. Hasn't budged from that mark.
There's no sporting bet market move for this. This is the McEwen Stakes.
For Effort, fourth the inside, a length and a half Keno. Morgan Dollar well off the speed and out 3 wide, followed then by Aranos getting up on the inside of Rostova. Catapulted had the lead before the turn, a length and a half Selchow. Haylist on the outside and Reward for Effort hugging the fence. Then a length and a half further back as Rostova trying to push through, but she's cramped for room. Around the turn, Catapulted the leader. Haylist moved up ominously on the outside. Reward for Effort gets off the fence, peels out for its run. Haylist shot to the lead from Catapulted in the straight. Drew a neck in front. Reward for Effort can't lift from there, and Haylist away the last little bit. And Haylist Catapulted by a length and a half. Reward for Effort 2.5 third. Aranos got up on the rails 4. Then Keno Rosta.
Yeah. Well, is he the new sprinting star of Australia? Another one from the West. Haylist just invoked the mercy rule there. Never going to get beaten. In the running lane, Schofield is hanging on. Let him go as Catapulted fold.
No, this horse is a very, very good horse. And it's so exciting to be associated with an animal like him. You know, he could go the way to the top, this horse.
It's a good opportunity.
He's gone north, he's gone south, and he's sort of blown them away both times. You know, good horses have a V8, but this bloke's got he's jet propelled.
He looked like he would never
think a little bit freakish about him, because people will look at that race yesterday and wonder the strength of the opposition and all of those sort of things. But given his overall record, do you think there is something a little bit freakish about him?
Well, there has to be. You know, horses don't win what he's won and just keep improving. The funny thing is, though, is you're probably not going to know how good he is until he really meets that really top level.
The Moody's informed stewards in today's feature race, the Dato Tan Chinnam race, that Typhoon Tracy will be ridden off the speed. Now, every speed map in the country's got Typhoon Tracy leading at whatever tempo you $2.80. I don't think Johnny Wallace would mind leading, but Starther Katsusa will have none of it. Uber Gotcha $2.80, and the big three here, Typhoon Tracy. Well, it's gone for a bath in betting since that news came through, Shane.
No surprise there. Hissing Sid had the lead. Going around the 800 turn, just over a length in front. Precedence running second and Shootout tucked in third, the inside, 3/4 away to Zipping. A further 2 lengths, a touch more, in fact, to Typhoon Tracy outside Bright Night, and a length Who Be Got You with on the inside Rundle. Now they're quickling the tempo a little. Hissing Sid just a half in front of Precedence, a length Zipping. Shootout finds himself pocketed. Typhoon Tracy going up 3 and 4 wide, and going with her is Who Be Got You as they sweep to the turn. Shootout can't get a run at them. Precedence hit the lead. Typhoon Tracy and Who Be Got You. They're on the scene together. And now Shootout gets the run on the inside. Now the wick has turned up. Who Be Got You and Typhoon Tracy turning together. Who Be Got You taking over the running out the middle of the course. Raced about a half in front of Typhoon Tracy. The rest aren't doing enough, and it's Who Be Got You who sprints away. Who Be Got You came clear and scored by 2 lengths. Typhoon Tracy. Shootout grabbed third, a nose in front of Precedence. Zipping battled away okay. Then Hissing Sid and Bright Night. And
best horse on the day one, and he's in for a great campaign. Won this race last year, beaten favourite in the Cox Plate. Going better this year. The tempo did. I was actually expecting there, wasn't it? Hissing Sid to lead, but when they got going, Typhoon Tracy and Who Be Got You, could see it. Who Be Got You just stalk into the race and make it the Cox Plus track. He obviously has run the Memsey show. He's come up well, and he's just taken the right step week by week. He's a better horse this year.
He is a better horse this year. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. He's still got a bit of improvement in him too.
Gutted when that horse made Catapulter look second. I couldn't believe how good he went, did you?
Oh, he just broke Catapulter's heart. You know, occasionally you find a horse like that Haylist, but gee whiz. Johnny, Terry, just spell him, take him to Hong Kong, but don't worry about it.
This horse has made the...
I'm not sure what they were doing with Typhoon Tracy. Well, I think that was probably a mistake. He probably made a mistake on Shootout going to the inside. But when Hoobie's on song, he just looks fantastic, doesn't he?
Run it 5 times different ways, you'll get the same result for mine. Huber got you in Sydney.
Huber got you, and you might remember I've said it about 1,000 times. I think it's the best 1,600-metre horse in Australia. But when I think they run very hard at the Cox Plate, which they ran along last year with So You Think, I just think it takes away his brilliance and his dash. And what if he wins this year? I was right last year. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I like Kavanagh. I like Lawrence. But you can have an opinion, and I think Fesco will make it a fair dinkum mile and a quarter this year. And I agree with Bruce. No matter how you run the race, Hoobie would have beat him and beat him easy. But look, So You Think they're the top of the market on sportingbet.com.au. I think he's entitled to be there clearly as well.
Melbourne Cup news. We saw a race at Deauville a couple of weeks ago where 2 Melbourne Cup contenders raced. Americane won it for Jerry Ryan and Kevin Bamford. And running second in this race was Managar, podiumed by Terry Henderson and Simon O'Donnell. They're telling me Terry Henderson is telling me Managar is destined to run in both cups. The jockey will be locked in.
This is on the program. This is the Premier Stakes, and we get to see, well, Hot Danish. She's a lot of people's favourite racehorse at the moment in Australia. A wonderful mare she is. Multiple Group 1 winner, and she's won 6 of 7 first up for Lesbridge, and she has been a trial winner.
More $50,000 bets at the very short price.
You're quite right. There will.
And he's got to the lead, and she found the rail as they run onto the course proper by 3/4 Cardinal Virtue. Traders behind them, third on the rail, and then Hinchinbrook is just being niggled along to hold his spot at the moment. Fist of Fury midfield on the fence, and then Bless Us. Tickets giving the leaders about 5, and Kroner's last of all. As they run for home now, and Hot Danish led, with Clark still sitting pretty on a lead by about a length or so. Cardinal Virtues under the whip. Traders come through in the centre to give chase, and Hinchinbrook's going nowhere behind them as they run down towards the 200. He gives a dig in the ribs now, Hot Danish, and she said, "I'll see you later." She's about 2.5 in front of Trader, and this is going to be an exercise gallop for this marvellous mare. Hot Danish, another winning return to the track and beat Trader. Cardinal Virtue got third, then Fist of Fury, followed by Kroner, Tickets, Hinchinbrook, and last in was Bless Us.
She is a superstar, isn't she? Hot Danish on her ear. That incredible first up record she has maintained. Look at her pinning her ears. Public, a big crowd having a look at her coming back.
First up, Wait for Age. Obviously, she was well suited. But look, she's a 7-year-old mare now, and sometimes you don't know whether you got these mares or you haven't got them. And it's great to see her back. She's my favourite mare. She's
She's a great horse, isn't she, Richard?
Yeah.
More strawberries. Also in the market here. $2.80 she is, and we'll get to
heading into that bend. And More Strawberries are now kicked away and led by a half on Jibe. Then Amber's Was Parable still on the outside in fourth. Tracking it as Ellen Bari. More Than Words over on the inside as they're starting to quicken up front from Slow the Flow. Fibrillation second last, and Quadrilla Girl, the bolter in the betting, is back last of all. Coming to the bend. And More Strawberries. Cassidy now starting to go for home. Led by a length and a half on Jibe. Brown brings Parables to the outside. She's giving chase. Amber's Walters running on. It's More Strawberries in front. Parables throws down the gauntlet on the outside. They race away to fight it out. It's a 2-horse race. More Strawberries on the inside is hanging on for the moment. Parables is trying hard. Brown reaches for the whip, but I doubt that she'll get there. More Strawberries is hanging on, and More Strawberries beat Parables about 4 to Amber's Waltz. Then Jibe, Slow the Flow, Fibrillation, followed further back in behind them next by Ellen Buck.
Yeah, she certainly is. Gay Waterhouse walking out with Sarah Willer. Wow, that was impressive today.
I think you saw 2 outstanding fillies. This filly's very, very good. And the further she goes, the better she'll go. Things go for
Fibrillation.
Our 2 outstanding fillies there. More Strawberries. I think Jimmy Cassidy's first ride for Gay for 6 years. Gay's 7th win.
These are destined for the top. They both superstars. I thought Parables would win.
And when Parables come out to challenge at the 200 or the 250 there, she was 50 to 1 on. She was going to go straight past her. But this filly rallied like a very, very good filly. 2 good fillies here. Advantage More Strawberries because she can put herself in a race where the other fillies might be a little bit one-dimensional, but get Parables in a real race where there's pressure on. She's a different filly altogether, and she can handle it wet or dry. So not much between them. They're both top class. Look, you just only got to look at the margin between the first 2 and the rest.
Well, about to go the Underwood Stakes. It features the Cox Plate defending champion and current favourite, So You Think. Dominates the betting. The bookmakers taking him on. Well, the Tate punter's looking at 222.50, 280. I bet that won't last. 10. So You Think. The best looking horse in the race. Looks fantastic, doesn't he? Shane, very hard to ignore him.
Yeah, now he didn't race at the...
them. They haven't gone particularly hard at all, and it's Zavita narrow leader. Red Ruler deep on the course, goes up and just about joins him at the 800, and Metal Bender between them, a length third. So You Think a further length and a half away with Heart of Dreams on his inside. 2 lengths Master O'Reilly, shocking midfield the rail as they come down the side from Dariana Lago, Lads Abrasive Bucciolati. 5.50 left to go, and Zavita by a half. Red Ruler, Metal Bender, So You Think is edging into it a little bit wider, and then Heart of Dreams over on the fence, who's held up for a run, and Shocking getting up just behind him. As they swing for home, it's Zavita from Red Ruler, Metal Bender, and So You Think is now claiming the 3 leaders. Dariana running a big race down the outside, and then Heart of Dreams, but So You Think bounded to the front at the 200 metres. Down the outside, Dariana, then Metal Bender and Shocking, who can't get clear. So You Think controlling it, racing clear. So You Think drew away, and he won it by 2 1/4. Dariana. Cummings has quinelled it. Metal Bender a half head third, and Shocking might get fourth. He had a bit of an interrupted run. Zavita boxed on. Red Ruler, Heart of Dreams on. Red Ruler, Heart of...
He's never going to get beat from 400.
Well, given all that, what you say, man, it's a pretty awesome performance, really, isn't it?
He's an awesome horse. Yeah.
But the numbers he finished up starting $1.80 on the tote.
Shocking might get...
Bart, how good is Bart? How good is So You Think? 261 Group 1 wins now for JB Cummings. Victory. It's an extraordinary career for JB Cummings. And this could be the best that Bart's ever had, Stu.
Well, it looks that way, Bruce. That was really dominant yesterday, and it's just remarkable.
Or Joyce, and I said, So You Think. I think if he gets to the Cox Plate in one piece, there's no betting. I think he's clearly the best horse in Australia.
Isn't it awesome to think that this horse could possibly win his second Cox Plate at his 9th or 10th start?
Yeah, let's have a look at the Cox Plate market, and he's right into, at this stage, $2.60 with Sporting Bet Australia. So late doing all the figures on this horse. Now, this is over the history of Australian racing. That's not a bad list, is it? Kingston Town, Manikato, Vane, Brighton Power, Better Loosen Up. That's their ratings in pounds. £132, Better Loosen Up. Next on the list, it's start number 8, So You Think. And that's plus sign is there because of the upside as well. Wicked Hustler got his 130 when he won the George Ryder, looking at 7 Group 1s. But look at the list behind here, Steve. Mackay, Devon, Morley, the Sunline Dulcify. It's an awesome rating on some.
A Cox Plate as a 3-year-old at his 5th start in a race, and now we're looking at him as a 4-year-old who could win his 2nd Cox Plate at his 10th race start. Could be the best horse in the world. He's got potential, I must say, to be an absolute champion.
Wrist by So You Think yesterday, he was awesome.
I have to say I was. I have to say that I was. I mean, he was in a position where he was probably vulnerable in that race. They had their chance to beat him, and they just couldn't. When he went to the front in the straight and took over that race, I thought, oh, you're a serious racehorse. You really are a good horse. And he's got the looks to match too. And
on this horse to win 3 Cox Plates before even going to stud, and that'll be some sort of record in itself. But he's a lovely horse, a beautiful individual. Love the run of Dariana, on track for a Caulfield Cup. And I think it's important to remember she won a Derby. She beat the Colts. And so this horse is going on. Lovely.
Our pay list here is opened up at $1.50, Richard, for the running of the Sporting Bet Australia Manikato Stakes at Group 1 level. In your territory. Okay, let's go to the mounting yard, brought to you by Coolmore, to look at these horses, to see this wonderfully talented galloper, all silent. He's $9 in the age. Okay, the next horse we'll be looking at, of course, is the favourite for the race. This is Haylist, $1.50, $1.20 on the TA.
Haylist went round the 800 turn. Reward for Effort is keeping really honest, and they burn up the side. They're 2 lengths in front of True Persuasion, Love Conquers All. A length and a half, Eagle Falls, Latin News, 2 lengths to Stands Out. And last is All Silent. Down the side now, 600 metres to go, and it's Haylist in control. He's a half in front. Reward for Effort staying on with him. 2 lengths away, True Persuasion off the bit, and so is Love Conquers All. A length Latin News, Eagle Falls running into a pocket as they swing around the turn. Schofield hasn't let go on the favourite. It's Haylist off the rails, leading by 2 lengths. He's broken. Reward for Effort. True Persuasion is still staying on the inside, and further back is Eagle Falls, but it is Haylist. Look at him open up now. This outstanding sprinter. Haylist comes right away, wins by 3. True Persuasion ran the race of his life. Eagle Falls a length and a half third. He'll be an improver. All Silent rattled home late on the inside, and then Love Conquers All. Stands Out. Reward for Effort. Tried to go with a champ and it broke him to finish. Latin News.
Yeah, pretty brutal, pretty brutal. Haylist, $1.30, $1.04. Brutal for bookmakers in particular. They've smashed this, one of the shortest price favourites that you're going to see in a Group 1 for many years. Hay list $1.30, $1.04. Trooper.
Sit off them as well, you know. If they go too hard, he can take a sit and run by them, which he showed last week. It's just a perfect racehorse.
You've ridden some great horses in your career, both in South Africa and here. Where does he rate?
Oh, look, he's definitely the most exciting horse I've ridden in many, many years, and I think the best is still to come.
They're the best sprinters we've had. Now, this horse on 125, Rich, I know you sat up last night going analysing these yourself, but Placid Art's probably the right benchmark. But have a look at the sprinters we've produced over the years, and in a short career, he's already there with a bullet, really. He's untapped. Black Caviar, he's untapped. Black Caviar, for your reference, is on 122.
Hello, Glen. George Main Stakes, a Group 1 race for the Weight for Age gallopers. And we see More Joyous on course against her Warhorse.
Joyous 175. No. $1.60 for More Joyous.
Well, and she's there with the Clark of the course. She is certainly the star on the rise. She's won 8 of 11.
So it's Theseo highballing it at the halfway mark. More Joyous just sitting off it. He hasn't moved as yet. Then the Snappy Halo followed by Dan Lee. Trusting back on the rails, come off the bit. He's finding the action a little bit hot at the moment. Followed by Empire's Choice. And then Coniston, Bluebird and Black Piranha is looking for a run near the rail. So they're about to turn and Theseo led. Brown still sitting quietly on More Joyous. He doesn't want to get into a dogfight just yet. Followed by Dan Lee, Snappy Halo, Trusting, and then Empire's Choice. Now More Joyous races up on the outside with that breathtaking acceleration, and she quickly took Theseo. Dan Lee was next from Empire's Choice, running a race, and then Trusting, but More Joyous is well clear with 100 metres to go. She's got a winning break, and it's George Main Stakes for More Joyous. She's in front, wins it from Trusting and Empire's Choice. Then Dan Lee from Black Piranha, followed by Coniston, Bluebird. Theseo knocked up, finished second last.
Oh, what a wonderful mare. More Joyous. She just keeps winning. More Strawberries last year, More Joy last week, More Joyous this week takes out the group.
Well, he is in the market, but he shouldn't be. So you think now with Sporting Bet down to $2.45, More Joyous $5 from Who Begot You. Forgot about.
They drew comparisons with her and the great mare Sunline. But yesterday she did something Sunline couldn't do, and that was win the George Main. Corey, an amazing performance.
Yeah, she's an amazing horse. I say when I rode her the first time at Rose Hill that I think she's genuinely the best horse that I've ridden, and confirmed it yesterday. It's an amazing feeling. It's like getting out of a mini minor into a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
And like
Handicap day, it is the Coolmore Stud Flight Stakes, and these 3-year-old fillies look magnificent. Unfortunately, there has been a shower of rain, which is just continuing at the moment. Only light rain, so fingers.
Top number 1, More Strawberry. She's favourite. She is around the $3 mark into $2.80. She's now clear favourite. Yosei, the Victorian, $6.50 out to $7.50. Now, Parables opened up around the $2.90. She just drifted 20 cents out to.
Middle fourth, last out wide from Crafty Earner Fibrillation. And last of all is Secret Admirer. They run up in the vicinity of the 600 and Slow the Flow led for Hearts Are for Love. About 2 lengths to More Strawberries travelling up nicely behind them from Sasa. Then Zutara, followed by Parables. He's taken it away from the outside to come to the centre of the track, and behind it Chula Vista. Up the rise and Slow the Flow led from Hearts Are for Love. More Strawberries closing in on the outside, and then Parables starting to wind up down the outside, and Zutara. Slow the Flow is grabbed by More Strawberries. Parable gets a chance on the outside, coming after More Strawberries, who's in front with 150 to run. Parables digging in, and look at Secret Admirer. She's jumping out of the ground. It's More Strawberries grabbed by Secret Admirer, got up to win it. Secret Admirer beat More Strawberries. Parables third, and up down the outside, and Zutara. Slow the Flow is grabbed by More Strawberries. Parable gets a chance on the outside, coming after More Strawberries, who's in front with 150 to run. Parables digging in, and look at Secret Admirer. She's jumping out of the ground. It's More Strawberries grabbed by Secret Admirer, got up to win it. Secret Admirer beat More Strawberries. Parables third, and then Sasa followed by Slow the Flow. Further back was Jose, and then Fibrillation, Zutara, Crafty Earner, Hearts Are for Love.
For More Strawberries, no excuse for Parables. Secret Admirer gave them a start and upbeating. And Brenton?
She's not on the track when she gets in and out of them barriers. That was a scintillating sprint at the end of that race, and a sprint of a good filly. And another trainer, this Graham Begg, who knows how to get one right on the day. Invariably, his horses peak when they have to. Sometimes they're not good enough, sometimes they are. And this filly was yesterday. And this boy, Avdullah, is.
And of course, the favourite is Trusting, Richard.
Yeah, certainly is. 9-2 the field, $5.50 the field in the Telstra T-Box. Get a T-Box, guaranteed. $10 for number 1, Dan Lee. Now, number 2, Black Piranha, $18 best into $15. Doubtful Jack, as I told you, Sonador, 14 out to $15.
Towards the halfway, and Bay Window on the outside of Prince Brayman. Firebolt sitting behind them. Over on the rail, return to sender, followed by Cannonball in 5th out wide. Doubtful Jack and Neeson tracking them, followed further back by Sacred Choice. Cassidy starting a run on Trusting. He's starting to take off before the bend, and then Hidden Wonder, followed by Captain Sonador. Once were wild midfield, back to the inside, Centennial Park from Like a Larian, and then Black Piranha into the straight, and Prince Brayman is the leader as they run to the 300. Firebolt on the outside goes after it from Bay Window. Hidden Wonder and Neeson getting inside runs. Trusting is coming down the outside. It's Prince Brayman and Firebolt. Now Captain Sonador burst onto the scene in the centre. Trusting going with Sacred Choice down the outside. The leader is Captain Sonador. Led out from Trusting is coming after it. Captain Sonador in front. Captain Sonador beat Trusting. Photo third, Sacred Choice or Hidden Wonder. Then at the head of the others, Prince Brayman, followed by Centennial Park, and then Dealer Principal Like a Larrikin, then Larrikin.
Rest at the right time. So I'm very fortunate enough that Brendan really picked this horse out and he asked me to ride the horse.
A few weeks on this program. The 4-year-olds, Quinella, the Epsom, you haven't latched on yet. It's the spring. It's the year of the 4-year-old.
Of course, you're talking.
Captain Sonador was terrific yesterday, but Trusting. This is as good a crop of 4-year-olds as I can remember.
Okay, now, well, it's 73 Group 1s for Bossy, 3 Epsoms, 5 Don.
Oh, it's the sprinting race, but I think there'll be no less excitement than there was in the Group 1s because we see again this great race mare, one of Sydney's favourite racehorses, Hot Danish, and she is now...
Shell Scrape now into $6.50. Krona, hundreds out to $151. Hot Danish, $1.80 into $1.75.
And then Tickets, Hot Danish still out a little bit deep, followed by Krona and Dow Dow. Whitefriars is next on the back of the favourite, and then Demirid Albert the Fat and Aldafra coming into the straight, and Shell Scrape and Montana Fly led from Krona. Further back was Pinwheel. Hot Danish is now coming down the centre of the track, but she's still got a couple of lengths to make up, but she's starting to come fast. It's Shell Scrape in front. Here she comes, Hot Danish on the outside with Whitefriars. Shell Scrape is joined by Hot Danish. Whitefriars on the outside. Shell Scrape, Hot Danish, Whitefriars. Hot Danish stuck ahead out and won the money. Hot Danish has won it from either Whitefriars and Shell Scrape. And then we've got Demerit running on, followed by Pinwheel, Tickets, Dow Down.
Ground, and that's about as soft as she can get through it.
It's in the voice there, Mark. Fantastic. You got a home.
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a struggle, wasn't it? I remember something similar.
And who's to say yet? We'll find out a little later, but, we've got to see Black Caviar come back.
Yeah.
Haylish goes to the straight today for the first time. I'd be running her. I wouldn't be shying away from those horses at this.
Something about sprinters in this country. If she was a stayer and as dominant as she has been, she'd be up around the $5-6 million mark, maybe more. Maybe she'd be up towards 10 million. It's sprinters are. We produce some of the best sprinters in the world, and yet they race for the least prize money.
Yeah, look, what can you say about her? I'm in awe of her. I've never said, she's gone. And yesterday I thought on the turn, you're gone, girl. You can't win today. And even halfway down the straight, I thought, you're really struggling today. But then she pins them ears back and she has that killer instinct
and
about
why not? She is a great mare. And I tell you,
today this is the Blazer Stakes Group 2 level. Fantastic lineup of fillies and mares. It's $5.10 the field on the tote, $5.10 no evidence needed, $5.30 Palazzo to Crystal. Big field. Your jock, 2 for 2, aren't you, with D Dunn?
Yeah, 2 years ago, he actually won on this mare on Oaks Day, and then he won the Emirates on All Silent. So, yeah, we've got a pretty good strike rate.
Looks to be Wellington horse trained in Sydney. And I remember that day she won at Oaks, so I think she'll be zooming home over the top of them here today. 9, the Crystal tops at $5.50 after opening $4.80, back into $5. It's taken over as favourite. Palacio to Crystal.
Riding the inside when they go to the 800 metres. Happy Hippie and Bisphonia are racing together with Absolute Faith. And then 2 lengths away, My Emotion, Palacio to Crystal, well back on the fence as they neared the corner. And then came Strawberry Field, and they're being followed by Small Minds and Amberino. Irish Lights had the lead coming around the turn. Culminate is having a crack at her, and then No Evidence Needed. who's been able to switch to the outside for a run. Lady Lynette is making ground along the inside behind the leader, and Palacio de Crystal is right over on the inside and coming home, and further back is Dysphonia. Palacio de Crystal getting right up along the inside, and no evidence needed out in the middle. These are the two leaders, and they were clear of Strawberry Field. Palacio de Crystal hanging on, no evidence needed, coming at her. It's Palacio de Crystal, no evidence needed, starting to lift again. This is going to be close as they hit the line. Palacio de Crystal by a neck. 2, no evidence needed. In third place, yes, a huge run, the winner, wasn't it? Strawberry Field getting up for third from Lady Lynette. Culminate, who weakened out. Amberino made some ground.
One in the race. No evidence needed. You can't get off and carry him. Every possible chance. Had the perfect run. Strawberry Field runs into third. Quality ride, quality horse wins. Punter's okay.
Early male special home, close to one of the best mares in the country, and now unbeaten at Flemington. And if Graham Begg keeps her here racing at Flemington, she'll just knock up Winning Sammy. She is a star.
Yeah, that was
5-6 got us pinch. 240 the place, 190 for no evidence needed. Strawberry Field full. Favourite here, Haylist, the car kicker, 155.
In one more quick word to John before he can. Just grab it for 1 second.
Well, you've here taking that from you. I know Sniper's Bullet, Haylist 150 out to 155. It's a pretty
list. Further back in the field is Perturbo and Sniper's Bullet. Beltoir towards the end, and Chasm is towards the rear over on the inside. Now past the 400, Haylist had moved up on the outside and he went to Catapulted. Back behind them, Weekend Hustlers under pressure. Exurius is staying on, and Bank Robber on the far side, but Haylist in control of the race, passes to 200 metres. Catapulted running on gamely as Chasm down the outside. Haylist is the leader from Catapulted and Chasm. Haylist, a flying West Australian. Long odds on, he's too good for them, Haylist. How good's that? Haylist by a length on the line to Catapulted and Chasm, and then Bank Robber fourth. Back behind them is Swick Trader, Exurius, and further back was Rostover. Weekend Hustler blew out late. Good, and he did it in just probably second gear.
It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? A bit embarrassing. Bring it on the Patnack Farm, and we see all the pretenders to the sprinting throne in this country, because whatever wins there can take on the world next year, and this bloke should fly the flag for Australia. It was too easy, as Greg said. In second, there's going to be some new players come on the scene. The Black Caviars, All Silence, and Co. We're heading towards the Patnack Farm. Are you pretty confident you've got their measure?
Yeah.
Johnny says he's not worried about the others we just mentioned because he's got those covered. And
A race submitted and some change, but geez, he's impressive.
He must give you a different feel than any horse you've ridden then.
Oh, without a doubt, he's phenomenal. I was just saying to Liz and to Terry that, but it never felt like I was out of third gear or fourth gear at any stage of the race. And then once I sort of asked him to click up and find an extra little bit to get away from Catapulted coming through the 500, it was race over, and he was just coasting and was really comfortable.
Race 7 coming up, the Group 1 feature this afternoon, the Turnbull Stakes, featuring some of the key players for the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup. Shootout, all this form and market action has been pretty well disclosed this week. Shootout heavily back, 360 on the tote, 510.
He won't be fancied in the Caulfield Cup, but I see if Dariana...
Why wouldn't he be fancied?
After Shootout looks to be well poised at the moment, followed by Monaco Consul. Next is Vigor on the outside of Zipping, and 2 lengths away Faint Perfume. Typhoon Tracy gave the speed about 9 lengths, and then a length and a half is Abrasive. Shocking on the rail. Metal Bender right back as notified. Third last coming up towards the home turn, and Dariana and Jessica Biel bring up the rear. Sterling Prince at the 600 metres tries to shake them off. He leads by a couple of lengths to Desperado, Zavit and Bucciolati. The outsiders are all up there as they swing around the home turn. Here's Shootout peeling to the outside of Zipping, and Typhoon Tracy's running on. Zabrasive's got right to the outside. Monaco Consul and Speed Gifted stay near the inside. Shocking trying to weave his way through the field at the 400 metres now. And here's Shootout and Zipping. They race to the lead together now. Getting through Faint Perfume, and Shocking's coming home, and Typhoon Tracy's joining in as well. It's Zipping, Shootout, Typhoon Tracy, Shocking the far side. Zipping and Shootout. Zipping continuing to kick. Zipping hanging on. The old boys got home. Zipping a neck to Shocking and Shootout third. Every Hope. Metal Bender charged to the line fourth. Typhoon Tracy didn't quite finish it off. Then Faint Perfumes, Abrasive, Bucciolati. It's Zipping, Shootout, Typhoon Tracy, Shocking the far side. Zipping and Shootout. Zipping continuing to kick. Zipping hanging on. The old boys got home. Zipping a neck to Shocking and Shootout third. Every Hope. Metal Bender charged to the line fourth. Typhoon Tracy didn't quite finish it off. Then Faint Perfumes, Abrasive, Bucciolati, Deriana, Monaco Consul.
A Turnbull Stake. He's running it for the 5th year, and he worries out some great performances by Shocking and also from Shootout. They had their chance. No excuses for the Beaten Brigade.
He's a marvel. He really is. I mean, he's won 2 Group 1s now, obviously one being 8, one when he's 8, one when he's 9, and he's not finished yet. I'd just like to ask any bookmakers out there if they'd like to ring me with that $35 they're offering for the Cox Plate. You know how to find me.
Right, we'll get that off the plate.
Well, that's right. He's in the last 2 Cox Plates, he's run 2nd and 3rd.
Efficient and Hall last year in this race. Zipping finished 7th. He went on off terrific sectionals to run 3rd, the first older horse home behind the 2 3-year-olds in the Cox Plate. So the lead's there, isn't it? 19.
Niblick and Golistan. Here on track, Niblick clear-cut favourite, $3 into $2.80. Golistan doesn't have the same progression, though, as this horse Niblick, who's lightly raced from the Hickmott stable for...
Followed further back by Shatrang, pulling wide. Then on the fence, Double Thunder. Niblick under hard riding, trying to make up ground. In the straight, Sky Devil, Miss Chatter getting off the fence, going after it. Magic Zulu, 3 out, Golistan, and Niblick's into the clear, running on. Further out, Come On Bill and Jester Rossa. Here's a go. Miss Chatter took the shortcut, went to the front. Niblick's giving chase, but it's Miss Chatter in front. Niblick's eating up the ground. Miss Chatter in front. Niblick's lunging and clear. Niblick in the last stride from Miss Chatter. Photo for 3rd between Jester Rossa, Come On Bill, then Golistan. They were followed next in by Double Thunder. Stars are...
Well, Terry, I didn't think he would get there, but he did right on the line.
Big win.
To 380. Age of Heroes solid at 460. 7. Off and racing now. 3 Swallows began fast on the tempo. Jackpot was 2nd. 3 Swallows 3rd the inside. Cat Eyes 4th. Destiny Partners has always been deep. Impala Cobber slipping through to the rail. Age of Heroes about to be stoked up. Then Cool Edition. And the others were headed by Maul. They flattened for home. Mirabeau in front. 3 Swallows slipped up on the outside. Jackpot still there. Cat Eyes under a little pressure. Age of Heroes starts to put him down the outside now. Here comes Age of Heroes with a big run. He's after Jackpot and 3 Swallows. Wider Cool Edition and Telesto Warrior run on. But the real Age of Heroes stands up today. Sprinted away. Beat Telesto Warrior. Cool Edition and 4th over the line was Maul finishing on well. Then Armstrong Jones, Jack Yonder whipped them in.
Glenn Collis rides the winner there. Age of Heroes, 450 and 170.
I'll go a bit quicker on this. Also, they shouldn't they? One's 1,000, one's 2,400. And we're going to see the return here of Black Caviar. Here's the tote call for the running of the Scalacci Stakes. $1.70, $1.80, $1.60. She looks lovely and relaxed. Still got Tony.
Valley Dreamer's the outsider, 150 to 1. Black Caviar opened 170. Now she peaked at 190. She's now into 180. She's the best back. Clear-cut favourite and will be our sporting.
Racing. Black Caviar away very well. Winter King out brilliantly. And also Mick can kick through. She retains the rails, can nearly go through and join the leader. They're followed then by wide out Tully Dreamer on the move, and he really pours the pressure into the race here out wide going to the front. Micmac is up there 4th and First Command 5th out wider. Star Witness well back on the rail when they cornered, and then Good Control and General Truce. Black Caviar boots up on the inside, goes to the lead. As they corner, she slips away under a hold. Hurley. Black Caviar opened up 3 lengths on Winter King. Tully Dreamer was gone. First Command Micmac running on General Truce down the outside, but it is Black Caviar well clear with 100 metres to go. 3 or 4 on Winter King, and Black Caviar back as brilliant as she left. Won it by 2, eased up. Winter King 2nd, General Truce 2.5 3rd. Star Witness got home nicely. A break in the field then to Micmac. Followed in there by...
Welcome back, girl. Absolutely awesome. Bring on the clash now with Haylist. 2 powerhouse sprinters. She does it ease down, throttled down. She's back. She's 6 out of 6 and does it easily. 2.
Let alone one this size and with this much brilliance.
You're watching Haylist, obviously. You're looking forward to that clash?
No.
Yes, I mean, she actually got the talent, or she obviously got the talent. What do you think?
Oh, listen, he's an outstanding horse, but never been one to run and hide. So it's going to happen, isn't it?
For sure. Look forward to it.
That day I was on Carl, but
With Haylist, awesome there. Between the 600 and 400, she ran 10.71, 400, 200, 10.61. That's where she beats them. Awesome sprinting mare.
We might get a little mouse a la Miss Andretti Gold Edition down the straight.
Yeah, it was
with each of them ticking each other like a bike race, like the individual pursuit. fantastic stuff. She was awesome yesterday.
Look, I love her. I think she's an absolutely outstanding mare. She's untouchable at this stage. I think this could be as big a clash as the Cox Plate clash. This Haylist and Black Caviar, they're very similar horses to my eye. They've both got that rare ability to bow the head when the pressure's on and relax off a high cruising speed. The way she didn't even flick her ears there when they all went around her, she just run her own race and accelerated at the right time. And he's a very, very similar horse. It's game on. It's game on for the big crown. I'm telling you, this is one of the highlights of the spring we're about to see.
Following race coming up. This is the Yalumba Stakes. Have a look at the tote market here for So You Think. Now, Hoobagooch is a popular horse. But So You Think, would you believe this? $1.20, $1.20 and $1.50.
But as soon as they saw $1.10 on the tote, they said, well, look, we'll just put up $1.40 and see what happens. That's where it stayed at the moment.
And this magnificent entire So You Think in the Data Tansion Nam colours. Duncan Ramage is with Rich now.
Make their way now to the railway side of the course. Red Ruler by a half. In second placing the hot favourite, So You Think. They've got 800 left to go. Here's a length and 3/4 in front of Who Be Got You, who's outside Master O'Reilly. Empire's Choice and LK Pop together at the tail. 5 lengths covered them. Red Ruler by a neck. So You Think, the champ, just poised, idling outside of the leader. Who Be Got You only 2 lengths away. Rod hasn't asked for the supreme run. They wind it up now around the bend, and here's Arnold letting loose on the toppy. Away he goes now around the bend. So You Think opened up 2 lengths. He's got away on Who Be Got You. Leads him by 3 around the home turn. Elko Pop pulled to the outside. So You Think went to the 200. 3 in front. Who Be Got You tries hard, makes no impression. Elko Pop is running on down the outside. But it is all So You Think. Look at him go. This is poetry in racing. So You Think won it eased up by 3 or 4. Elko Pop second. He's back on track. Who Be Got You's run third. Getting loose on the toppy. Away he goes now around the bend. So You Think opened up 2 lengths. He's got away on Who Be Got You. Leads him by 3 around the home turn. Elko Pop pulled to the outside. So You Think went to the 200. 3 in front. Who Be Got You tries hard, makes no impression. Elko Pop is running on down the outside. But it is all So You Think. Look at him go. This is poetry in racing. So You Think won it eased up by 3 or 4. Elko Pop second. He's back on track. Who Be Got You's run third. Red Ruler 4. Master O'Reilly 5. Empire's Choice is last home.
Way too good, way too easy. Race run to suit, but he's the sort of horse who can put himself into that spot and accelerate away. It'll be a different story, perhaps, in the tactics in the Cox Plate, but he's the one they've got to beat. So You Think could be the first horse in many, many years to go back-to-back from 3 to win at 4. So You Think. Elko Pop, I can say the ride for them doesn't last long enough. You get to go for 2 minutes on this bloke. It must be a good spin round.
Yeah, he's just a magnificent horse, you know. I wipe my feet before I get on him, you know. He's beautiful. So,
Mark, what you see is what you get with him. He's just a bomb-proof star.
Yes, I think so. I don't think there's any point attempting any sort of over-analysis here. Even though they did crawl, forget all that. Just believe what you saw. He wins again. His last 5 performances have been freakish, this horse. I think, again, just forget analysing Yalumba place getters in court. Just accept that Elko Pop's on song.
Yep.
He's home in 22.
This bloke's just a freak. Maybe he's in a class of his own and something we haven't seen for a good while.
It's a freakish horse. I had 2 blokes yesterday send me text messages, and people with a background in the racing, and they both sent the same text message independently of each other. Move over Kingston Town. I've just seen the best horse I've ever seen.
I think they're pretty.
You're looking at $2.30. Do some crunching. Let it ride. 230, 180, 170 more Joyous. I thought the book
double money back. 260 into 250. Thanks very much. More for more Joyous, bro. More for more Joyous, bro.
We've seen 1 star Black Caviar. We've seen another star. So You Think we're about to see another one. There's more Joyous.
Black Tight, 7 in a row. It's a decent performance. The overall is 9 from 12. Look, it's very hard to knock us. Let's see if we can. She's going to have to carry 58 kilos against a pretty good field, 1,600 metres. But look, you know she's going to be up in the forefront, and the last 2 favourites have got it done pretty easily.
When Regal Roller had 50.
Top and bottom this race.
We're going to rock a long way back on the rails, followed by Arva Innes and Kidnapped as last. Inside the 800 metres, Poor Judge outside Spacecraft, who has the rails in the lead. A length in front of Response, and over on the inside is La Rocket. followed by Drumbeats out wider, and then LA Wonder very deep. More Joyous in traffic. A length further back, No Jurisdiction. Lunyat Forever. Chasm as they neared the corner from Gold Salute. We're going to rock Ghost Milk. Kidnapped and Arvienus on the rails. Spacecraft the leader with Poor Judge coming around the home turn. Response was wider at Drumbeats joining in. Where's More Joyous? She's about a length and a half behind Drumbeats. She's given full bore. She's not responding immediately, and it's Poor Judge and Spacecraft from La Rocket down the outside. Now More Joyous starting to wind up with the run. We're going to rock getting off her heels. Poor Judge, More Joyous. She digs in for the fight with her big weight now. She takes the lead. More Joyous wins it by a half a length. We're going to rock flashed home for second. Photo third, and it's between Poor Judge and Lunyat Forever, the Macau galloper from Havaianas. Spacecraft, then Gold Salute, followed by Kidnapped. Further back from Havaianas, Spacecraft.
The trio of big name stars to win here. She was required to lift. She did. More Joyous sets a weight carrying record here with 58 kilos to win for Gai Waterhouse. Sets up the Cox Plate for her, and So You Think. We're going to rock outstanding. But all on the
Toorak winner to win the Cox Plate was Tobin Bronze in 1967. So we
Look, pretty soft stakes victories in a row. That puts her up alongside the likes of Lonhro, chase at 8, chasing down Kingston Town with 11. Heavily,
but More Joyous, I think.
Should she beat So You Think then?
Oh no, I've said all along that if So You Think gets there in order, she's the only possible danger. There's no danger to So You Think. But if there is one danger, it's only her, because she'll beat the others.
Well, Shock Horror, I agree, because she's the only wild card factor. Those horses coming out of Flemington, Shocking, Zipping, So You Think, Shootout, I can't beat So You Think. I've got no hope of beating So You Think.
Well, around town before yesterday, now into 170. More Joyous. It's a dominant market there off yesterday's performances. So Hubagotcha got the blows naturally.
That she's holding her condition going into a Cox Plate. Look, 8 in a row and all stakes and group races. That's an outstanding achievement. We don't know how good she is. I know she'll be much, much better next year. She could well have her work cut out beating So You Think this year, but she deserves a crack at it. And who's to say that she can't do it, because she's been untouchable of late. And the pattern of the day yesterday certainly puts more credence in her win.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's a Military Rose jumped away okay. Across the Moon began fast and Zelda charged away brilliantly. Royal Bender comes over with her. Settling down now as they go through the first couple of 100 metres. Zelda Charge going quickly as the leader from Military Rose. Now Zelda Charge by a length and a half coming around the home turn from Military Rose. Noetic across the Moon. Lone Rock just behind them, followed by Daughter of Fortune, Shiny and New, and then Royal Bender. Zelda Charge came around the turn. Gee, she's on the right leg today, led by 2 lengths. Noetic, Military Rose, Daughter of Fortune. Lone Rock can't go on. Royal Bender coming with Shiny and New, but Zelda Charge, she's gone further away from them. From Noetic, Jessie's Girl, Shiny and New is running on, but Zelda Charge, does this a form turnaround? She's on the right leg and she canted in. Zelda Charge by 3, Jessie's Girl, and flashing home is Dance of the Ocean. Shiny and New might get 4th. Royal Bender's up there. Sheila Star next in from Noetic.
They got round here, charged to the front. Well, didn't charge to the front, cruised to the front. Was able to put 19.15 and a gap on rivals here. Jessie's Girl
travels so quickly, and it's when you run along at sub sort of 35, it's hard to sort of get on your momentum. But Nash did a very, very good job and just
Best of her yesterday for Solid Charge, Rich, Military.
Would be if Richard Friedman trained her, trying to settle her out the back there and running on. Remember, that's the filly he wanted to harness her speed out the back and run on. She'll never go anywhere leading like that, he said. She'll never go anywhere leading like that. He's here to break with absolutely destroyed them yesterday, run them ragged.
I don't believe I actually said any of that stuff you said.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
But
look, what's running and what's not. Sistine Angel is the favourite at this stage. I'd like to draw somewhere between 5 and 10.
Archer for Love is riderless and about to come up into the stalls. The favourite, More Strawberries, is locked away with Susuro and a little bit of Monica. Now Hart racing now. More Strawberries, not the best to bounce out and has to be pushed up. She can't retain her place early. Plastic Fantastic away very swiftly. Lizzie on the outside. Hearts Are for Love led narrowly from Brazilian Pulse. Amber's Waltz coming on 3 wide. Sistine Angel around the outside putting in a strong run, followed by Pinker. And then Susuro and Divorces and Yosei getting up on the inside. Hearts Are for Love and Brazilian Pulse cornering in front from Amber's Waltz. Sistine Angel, Pinker and Yosei. They stretch across the track and next was More more strawberries. 150 to go. Brazilian Pulse. Jose comes through. Jose burst on the scene. Jose racing away now. Jose came right away. Beat Hearts for Love by a length and a half. Brazilian Pulse a length away third. Amber's Waltz ran fourth, and More Strawberries might get fifth after missing the start. She came from well back, and then
ones now in this career for Jose, both ridden by Michelle Payne, and they've both been gun rides. That was fantastic. Not going around a horse till needed to be. You can just see her stalking into the race at the right.
Well, let's talk about Jose. Gee, she's a good filly, Sammy. Okay, here's your interims for Inglis, 12.50 and 3.60. 23.60 for Hearts for Love. Two
of the BMW Caulfield Cup. And there it is, the trophy. Helen Coggle, who's been the face of the Caulfield. Here's the latest market order. Well, the market's been pretty well disclosed all the way through here. Got another 3 minutes to go. You always hit the great roar here, don't you? Was the top of the straight. They're down in the marquees. There's no yahooing down there in the marquee, Sam, is there, when you get down behind the barriers for the Caulfield Cup?
They're by the 1,200 metres, and Triple Honour was let slide now, and he went to the lead. A length in front of Herculean Prince. Red Ruler third the inside, followed by Desperado. A length Gelati, Shocking in Monaco Consul, well back with Dariana, and they're followed by Zavit. Alco Pop second last, and Valdemoro. 700 left to go in the cup, they're up the side. Triple Honour a neck in front of Herculean Prince. Desperado, Red Ruler, Tokai Trick coming around the outside, Metal Bender trying to work into it. Back behind those hairs, Alco Pop coming around the field. Monaco Consul's gone with him and ahead of him. And then Harris Tweed, Managar, Faint Perfume. Shocking is a long way back, he can't get a run. On the turn, and here comes Monaco Consul with Desperado. Mr. Medici just off them. Harris Tweed and Alco Pop are coming wider. Around the turn now, Monaco Consul, Desperado. Harris Tweed coming down the outside with a big run now. And Mr. Medici boxing on him. Managar's got over their heels. Harris Tweed, Desperado from Monaco Consul, and then Managar. It's Desperado kicking Harris Tweed on the outside. Desperado, Harris Tweed, Desperado hanging on. Desperado won the Caulfield Cup for Gay. Harris Tweed second, a length away, maybe Monaco Consul. Shocking got out, but it was all over. He's flashed home late, and then came Managar. Mr. Medici and Zavit followed further back in the field, then by Metal Bender, Herculean Prince. Gay has done it, Chris Mutch has done it. Desperado wins the Caulfield Cup.
And Gay Waterhouse puts a name on the honour list of majors here in Melbourne with Desperado. A brilliant ride by Chris Muntz, just as Harris Tweed looked outstanding. Shocking, absolutely no luck. Should have won. Always in the wrong spot. Had to come across heels. Had no momentum. Monaco Consul better today. Alco Pop got going. Managar okay. Mr. Medici satisfactory. But this is Gay's story today. Gay, look forward to that, but save this one first, Chrissy.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's like I said, it's the big four now, so you know everything else is a bonus.
Not many jocks have been able to put the set together, so you're in a steam company. Well done.
Thanks, Bruce.
What's in Australia is the Golden Slipper, Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, and Melbourne Cup. C. Muntz has done it now. Well done.
Trims always looking for big dividends here. 3,551 for the trifecta. Shocking gets into.
Gay's dad, TJ, won 4 Caulfield Cups. Gay had been placed with Aqua d'Amour, an iron horse in the race, and finally she claims it. Chris Muntz, his first, of course, knocked down on Jezebel all those years ago. And
It's interesting, isn't it? Again, fitting that profile of the 4-year-old male down in the way it's coming through the AJC Derby reference at 3. He was tough yesterday.
I said, you're right. Here's the Melbourne Cup market for Sporting Bet Australia. Shocking and So You Think. Head the markets there from Harris Tweed. Desperado only into $13. Obviously respected, but normally you see the Caulfield Cup winner virtually become the immediate favourite, Steve. And I think that's because of the ground situation. Runners in the race. Will Captain Sonador paying up. Trusting Will, Jay Cassidy. Avianis Will.
Is so confident So You Think will win this weekend's Cox Plate. They've already paid out all bets on the unbackable favourite.
He seems to be bulletproof, so he's the sort of horse, if we're going to take a risk like this, So You Think's the one that we'd be taking the risk with.
And Tate Market got plenty of time to analyse all these runners and give you the best chance to look at them. The best back, no doubt, has been Drunken Sailor. Only 2 hours ago was the 9.
American late into 11. Drunken Sailor's ease on.
They're off.
And they bounced away in a great line. American was given a dig in the ribs in the early stages. Once were wild, hard ridden, but the Hombre, the big boy with all legs, came out of the gate brilliantly, and he went to the front from Once Were Wild. American on the fence and Apprehend going up. And went forward big time at the top bend. The action and the sparks are about to fly. Mudra started a run. Then came Curdeman. No Wine, No Song. It's miles above at the 700 in front, but the runs are coming. Led by a half a length on, moving up the Hombre. Macedonian 3 wide from Once Were Wild. Drunken Sailors coming with a bit of a run. Then came Apprehend behind those from Exceptionally. Americans got nowhere to go. Mudra's come to the extreme outside, making ground as they spin the bend in the Geelong Cup. And it's the Hombre moving up to miles above. Macedonian 3 wide, Drunken Sailor 4 deep. As they turn the corner, Mudra to the outside with Exceptionally. American can't get a run back on the fence. Here comes Mudra. He moved up to Macedonian. Then Exceptionally trying to get into the clear. Cowden Costa on the outside. Mudra's in front. Exceptionally and kicking back Macedonian. Americans got up on the fence. Americans taken the run. The French horse takes the lead, and American goes on to win it. Great ride. Goes home to beat Mudra and Exceptionally. Then Cowden Costa, Saint Costa, Mr. Charlie Massad view. But what a performance by the American-bred, French-trained American for Gerald Mosse.
With American winning for Gerald Mosse, would have been a good thing beaten. He had nowhere to go. He's outstayed him with the top weight here of 58 kilos. He's in the Melbourne Cup. He was number 24 in the uniform.
Where he had very good form. We picked out what we thought was the best trainer in Europe in Alain de Royo de Prey, and everything's fallen into place. It's now 4 in a row, so it's a fantastic result.
You're right if you're looking at it, wherever there, but the move now, I mean, it's you're one step away from the dream.
Well, Jerry and Kevin are 58 down to 54. Got a chance, I think.
He's watching. Good on you.
In this race to get a penalty, to get their weight up and try and clinch it.
I reckon Manigar is a very, very good chance, because the last time Manigar and American met, there was not a lot between them. Manigar's run in the Caulfield Cup was very good. Mudra good, Sensationally was also very good. And once give him who? The winner, American.
Oh, I think he's a very good horse, a very good chance in the Melbourne Cup. I love the way he won there. He had to go through a few gaps. It's not really the European racing style to have to, push and shove and that'll stand him in good stead for a Melbourne Cup, which can be a rough.
The way that he burst through after being held up, showed acceleration. He's got a terrific chance in the Melbourne Cup, that horse.
Hands out race.
Not according to the punters. It's the Black Caviar v Nothing. We've heard about all the early money bet on it, Bruce. They put it up $1.50 here on track, and they just said, let us at it, and it's into 140.
Right.
I remember that day at Flemington. I stood next to Lee Friedman, and he looked at me when she went over the line and said, who's that?
Well, Peter Moody likes her.
It'd been $1.45. We had several bets of, we had that one big bet of 150, several of 50,000. They've taken the $1.40. There's no doubt in the world it's going to be the sporting bet market mover. Friendless, exceptionally good looking there. Oh, beauty.
Racing. Perfect start. Black Caviar not brilliantly away. She needs to muster because there's pressure right on here. Trooper sways in away very fast, looking for the lead from his outside barrier. He crossed over, he had it, and settling down 2 lengths away, Black Caviar, second, Hot Caviar. Then a length away, Eagle Falls, and stands out last of the half dozen. Trooper sways in at the 600 metres, tries to steady up after using a lot of gas to find the lead. Now moving up just about level on the outside is the hot favourite, Black Caviar. Melito's got the third, and Pockets Hot Danish stands out, whipped around the outside, trying to get himself in with a show. Eagle Falls left behind, but Black Caviar took Trooper Swazen and dashed for the lead. Going for 7 straight, and the favourite went away by 3 lengths now. They're not making impression on her. Black Caviar well away from Trooper Swazen. Hot Danish is boxing on well, but it is all Black Caviar. 7 straight. She's cantered home by 5 lengths. Hot Danish second, Trooper Swazen third behind, but Black Caviar took Trooper Swazen and dashed for the lead. Going for 7 straight, and the favourite went away by 3 lengths now. They're not making impression on her. Black Caviar well away from Trooper Swazen. Hot Danish is boxing on well, but it is all Black Caviar. 7 straight. She's cantered home by 5 lengths. Hot Danish second, Trooper Swazen third. Again, he doesn't miss a place at the Valley. Just behind them, Melito battled away late with Eagle Falls warming up. Stands out, dropped out to run last.
Well, what a star she is. We look forward to Flemington in the clash there with a hay list, and you can say forward to Flemington in the clash there with a hay list, and you can savour what might be. But look at that today. They tried to put pressure on early. They didn't bring her undone, and she's won ease down, throttle down, and wins in a canter today.
Well, I'm the only man here that wasn't disappointed that Haylist wasn't here.
Put Haylist to one side. I mean, talk about her.
You know, what you run out of things to say, don't you? You know, she just seems to do it so effortless. Flew and try and make it a 3-run prep.
And Haylist, looking forward to that now?
Oh, he's an outstanding horse now, once again. But, you know, what do? You know, we're undefeated and we've got to keep going forward.
I reckon she might be one of the best sprinting mares we've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all Black Caviar, 7 straight. She's cantered home by 5 lengths. Hot Dane is second. Troopers Ways in third. Again, he doesn't miss a place at the Valley.
Oh, that's embarrassing. That is exciting. She's a big hulking mare. He's a big hulking sprinter. I'm talking about Haylist. I suppose you can try and draw $2.10 Haylist, $1.75 Black Caviar for the Patnack. But let's just talk about her. She's just awesome.
That was certainly awesome yesterday because
other elite sprinters. I mean, with Black Caviar, she hasn't been beaten, so we don't know if there's a chink in the armour there. I mean, does she finally? Don't know. Haylist, we haven't seen the bottom of him. It's going to be some race, isn't it?
Out on the ground yesterday with the troops, everywhere you went, that's all everyone was talking about.
Don't take anything away from Black Caviar. That was a sprinting performance, the likes of which I haven't seen this season. I thought I'd seen it all this season with Haylist. I don't think Haylist would have got within lengths of her yesterday if they'd have run yesterday together. So, you know, even at his best, he might not be, you know, if you both at their best, she was better yesterday.
Best, absolutely run second to a real star. She is exceptional, and I tell you what, I cannot wait to the clash with it's just going to be absolutely awesome. Yeah, look, she is a star. Just acceleration within 150 metres. She puts a race beyond doubt. 7 from 7. The sky's the limit, and
clash. And I think she's getting into the. I think I rate Miss Andretti the best female sprinter I've ever seen, and that goes with a very long and established record that Miss Andretti put together. I think this filly's capable of doing that. Now, whether she does it, you know, we'll wait and see. But
5 now for So You Think, $1.45. So You Think favourite.
That's correct, Bruce. $7
Special offers ring the next 30 minutes. You get at 5. Yeah, it certainly was. And look, I think it might be nearly a case of justifying Sunline's margins in doubt.
Well, 7 lengths you got to put up here. 7 lengths. They're betting on it too. They're betting on the margin to put up here. 7 lengths. They're betting on it.
And he can roll to the front if desired. I think he might space them.
The Cox Plate market on your screen, 161. The tote's caught up here. Have a look at the size of these by his 10th start of his career, Shane. When you go back and look at the likes of, it took Northley 27 starts, Sunline 29, Kingston Town 31. It's a staggering, some sort of history we're about to look at, perhaps.
Well, yeah.
Pair in a row and turning 2 Group 1s.
I'm not knocking her, but this is an ask. I mean,
money and lots of it. As I said, a bit of 200,000, 140, 90, 85, 80, 80, 80, 70, 70. It's like an option. It's all been for So You Think.
Ready, racing. So You Think jumped well, trusting, bomb the start on the inside. Wall Street a bit slow to move also, and More Joyous pinged out immediately and she found the lead. More Joyous in front, So You Think a length and a half second at the judge. More Joyous 1,000 metres to go, 2 lengths in front. So You Think doing everything right at the moment, second a length and a half. Lunyet Forever, a half zipping a length and a half. Wall Street, Arby Ennis. 2 lengths away then came Shootout from Captain Sonador as they go around the 800 turn. Trusting the rail and Who Be Got You last of all. More Joyous the leader, the spark's about to fly in the Cox Plate now, Zipping's pulled out. So You Think went up and levelled with More Joyous up the side, he's taken the lead at the 600. So You Think by a neck to More Joyous, Zipping right there third but under extreme pressure. Then Arby Ennis followed by Shootout, Captain Sonador. Who Be Got You still a long way back around the turn. So You Think by a length. More Joyous is trying her heart out but she can't go with him. Then came Zipping, Arby Ennis, Shootout, Who Be Got You. So You Think with a big lead around the turn, 3 in front from More Joyous. Zipping, Who Be Got You flashing home on the outside, but So You Think is 3 in front. Who Be Got You ran to second from Zipping, but So You Think wins his second. So You Think first, a length and a half. Zipping came back, he grabbed second, a half head in front of Who Be Got You. Shootout 4. Then came More Joyous, Arby Ennis, Captain Sonador, Trusting Wall Street, and Lunyet Forever is last at his 10th start. He wins his second Cox Plate. Bart's done it again. Stephen Arnold did everything right. So You Think
That's-
on the verge of championship status.
Well, that's what we came to see. Hail the new king. He's the best we've seen since Kingston Town, without doubt. And without doubt, this is not just set in the heat of battle and at the moment to win 2 Cox Plate.
He did a good job, didn't he? He took on the speed and just outpaced him. So what can you say?
He's a totally uncomplicated horse, though, isn't he?
Well, he's got a lot of ability and seems to handle it very successfully.
Yeah, and
seems to be good, been some very good ones. But let's say this horse is up to the best at this stage.
But Sammy, I think we've been at every Cox Plate day is a special day, but to see this bloke and also to have Black Caviar.
Fantastic day. Extraordinary. It's been now well documented. His 10th start, 2 Cox Plates. At Kingston Town's 10th start, he got beaten in the Victoria Derby. Sunline was winning at CUNY. Tybee Diva hadn't won beyond Group 2 level. This horse has notched 2 Cox Plates. He's really quite something.
And good.
Shoot out Who Be Got You. So You Think with a big lead around the turn, 3 in front. Frogmore Joyous sipping. Who Be Got You flashing home on the outside. But So You Think is 3 in front. Who Be Got You ran to second from Zipping. But So You Think wins his second. So You Think first. A length and a half. Zipping came back. He grabbed second, a half head in front of Who Be Got You. Shoot out 4. Then came More Joyous, Harvey Innes, Captain Sonador.
It was a brilliant Cox Plate. All ran well, but one was in a different league, and that was So You Think. Steve's given you all the stats.
Look, I was very happy with the way she travelled. She began nice with a mile when we really quickened up, and I thought surely this has got to put some sort of take him off the bridle or make him work a little bit. And basically, I looked up and said, "Oh, we're in trouble here." You know, because geez, we quickened up well, and he was just toying with me at that point. But
She looked over at you and said, "Geez, what's trouble here?"
Yeah, he's that sort of horse. He dominates a race, you know, from a fair way out, and once he.
So You Think $4.20. He's shorter with some operators. He's as low as $3.20 with some, but Sporting Bet top odds there at $4.20. He could stuff. He wins the McKinnon. Like you go back to Gay Icarus, the shortest in modern times, $2.75. The Andercross got beat at $3.20.
Who would think a horse that's unofficially still a 3-year-old would win his second Cox Plate? He's an absolute star as far as
over the latest champion of that, but he's a very, very special racehorse, and he can get into the class. For me, with the Kingston Towns and the Makybe Divas, he's got to have a little bit more longevity for me to get him into that class. But I think he's well on the way to doing it, and I think he will do it. So there you are.
Whether the speed suited the back markers that much, you've got to consider this horse ran the fastest last 600 of the day. He ran faster last 600 than Black Caviar. Would you believe that? So the back markers had no hope. But
Down the trade board with Clinton, $3.90 the favourite. Mudra. Very, very firm. That is number 1. Okay, pop it. 55 away from the leader. Herculean Prince coming up the side of the course. A lead of a length here on the Once for Wild. 5 lengths away. Purple starting a move over on the outside. From Standstill, Cedarburg the rail. Gothic Crown coming around the outside. Then Murray in the field is bunching right up now. Mudra's pocketed on the rails. Cowden Costa next. Red Ruler peels out. Linton's going to be very wide around the home turn. The Lucky Day towards the end. Jessica Biel is last. Alco Pop's pulled out extremely wide. Into the straight. Once for Wild. Left in front. Herculean Prince punctured and dropped right back through the field. And Once for Wild by 4 to Purple. Murray and running on. Down the outside came Linton. And the Lucky Day is starting to come home well. Alco Pop's a minute back. Once for Wild, 2.50 to go. By 3 lengths, here's Linton and Malucky Day. They're coming after Once for Wild. These are the ones to fight it out. Once for Wild, getting a little tired. Linton and Malucky Day are after Once for Wild. Once for Wild, grabbed by Malucky Day. Malucky Day storms into the lead, came away. Malucky Day, it is his day today by 2 lengths. Linton grabs second from Once for Wild. Mudra 4, Counted Costa 5. A break to Red Ruler. He's followed in by Murray and Purple.
It's Melbourne Cup, but he goes straight into the race. He's got 50 kilos. Only his 8th start today. We wonder whether he will accept Nick Moratis had
at the last minute, and Chief.
Melbourne Cup they did. He's had less starts, and So You Think about the least experienced horse in the race. It'll be his 9th start, but Jimmy Cassidy said that this is the next Kiwi, Malucky Day, Nick Moratis, and fortunately for Jimmy, he was
very good runs in it. 1, 2, 3. Look, this horse, I've always said all along, he's next year's Cup horse. But look, on this performance, who's to say that this year isn't his Cup? He's a Cup's horse this year.
This makes a stat.
We have Toad Odds look this way, and Shane's going to then update us with what's happening in the bookmakers ring. Star Witness 370, Press Day at $7, Solar Charged, and she's at around $7.90 in the.
Is into 750. So the rain falling, they've latched onto buffering.
Gates are back, Solar Charge jumped well. Star Witness didn't seem to jump all that well at all down near the inside. And Press Day, I think it is, it's bombed the start too. So out is Soul Handy and no hesitation as deepest. Star Witness got up behind the leading bunch, followed then by Shrapnel. Further back is Katana, Sistine Angel a long way back in the field. Followed Potions out wide. Press Day is at the tail of the field. He was the horse who bombed it pretty badly. And they're coming now with about 500 left to go. Solar Charge, the leader. A length and a half in front of Buffering. Star Witness, the ruffian down close to the inside with Parawai. Soul was under great pressure. Katana next from General Truce. They're coming to the 400 metres. And Star Witness bounded up on the outside. Went to Solar Charge. Here's Katana running on. Buffering trying to get through. Soul got hampered for a run. Star Witness was the leader. A length and a half. Katana Buffering in a good battle behind these. But Star Witness in front of Katana. Star Witness comes away. Too good for them. Star Witness 2 lengths. Katana. Shrapnel a half a length third. Buffering stayed on 4. Then Parawai Soul who met trouble. Potion, Sistine Angel, General Truce, Solar Charge stayed.
So he's done that Blue Diamond double with the Cornwall Stone. Alinghi did that in 2004. There's been a few others, but that was the most notable in his distances.
Stud Stakes. He's by Starcraft. He's a gelding, this horse, but Dad was very talented and he's thrown some of that talent.
Not scared off by taking on Black Caviar and Halius next week.
Obviously, it's probably going to be one of the best sprint races they'll run anywhere in the world this year. So we're really pleased to be part of it and not taking it lightly. It is weight for 8, so we get a little bit of a weight advantage. But yeah, look, if he wins next Saturday, he can lay claim to being one of the best sprinters in the world.
Must have looked at Mick Cannan on Friday, and he was at the Gallops on Tuesday morning, and he said, I know that Haylist is good. I said, but the thing that ran with him, I think he's better.
Yeah.
He was really impressed with him and said a lot of big things about him.
Well, he's a Blue Diamond winner at 2. He's now Coolmore winner at 3. If he goes overseas, it makes him very, very special. He's a very good horse. And what about the clash in the Patnack now with Black Caviar, Haylist? That is really just another top-off of this brilliant carnival.
That light rain that I was telling you about earlier certainly increased in intensity. As soon as I mentioned it, it really started to bucket down. It was very continuous. Okay, let's have a look at the Tate betting for the running of the McKinnon Stakes. So You Think is all the rage. Tate Punter's had a bit of a set against him early, but he's come right in now to $1.90. Desperado.
I'm going to let you on a bit. 165 out to 170. Desperado, bow styling. Okay. They've taken it again. They love this horse. 170 into 165. He'll be our...
Rainbow Starling third. So You Think's just beautifully poised fourth, about 3 lengths from the leader. Shootout staying with him on the inside, and then Red Colossus, one Sailor Gear, Kidnapped. Metal Bender was next as they neared the turn, and they're on the swing for home now. Further back then, Faint Perfumes dropping back towards the end, and Trusting was second last as they come around the turn, and Shocking third last starting his move. So into the straight, Gingadoo joined by Desperado. So You Think just poised a length and a half behind here. Ardle hasn't let him go yet. Rainbow Styling on his inside. Let's see where's Shocking. He's still only got 3 behind him now. Desperado went to Gingadoo. So You Think is moving up with the Great Purpose now. Here he comes looking for his 5th straight. So You Think at the 200 metres claims the lead, strides away from Desperado. Further back is Shootout, but just have a look at this. It's just beautiful to watch. So You Think wins by about 3 on the line. Desperado. Gingadoo half behind here. Ardle hasn't let him go yet. Rainbow Styling on his inside. Let's see where's Shocking. He's still only got 3 behind him now. Desperado went to Gingadoo. So You Think is moving up with the Great Purpose now. Here he comes looking for his 5th straight. So You Think at the 200 metres claims the lead, strides away from Desperado. Further back is Shootout, but just have a look at this. It's just beautiful to watch. So You Think wins by about 3 on the line. Desperado. Gingadoo held third, just in front of Shootout, and just behind those horses then Rainbows
from the Epworth Hospital. He has to be happy. Farts, ladies and gentlemen. Love Riding was going to beat him when he pressed the button and let go. Champions, ladies and gentlemen. Love running past other horses and giving them a space like this horse here. The only thing that can get him beat in a Melbourne Cup coming up this Tuesday over 3,200 metres is if he draws wide and he gets fired up going out of the straight the first time. If So You Think draws a barrier, gets locked away, that's your Melbourne Cup winner. I tell you what,
Well, 5 this time in. Memsey Underwood, Yalumba into a Cox Plate into a McKinnon Stakes, $1.60. Not meant to be as easy as that. Is won 5.2 million after 11 starts. Add on St.
Billy Crow, all of those things. But do you think, all things being fair and equal, So You Think will just win this Melbourne Cup?
If So You Think gets the nice run in transit, settles, produces a la Saintly, it'll be very hard to beat.
And middle bender, Corey Brown.
So You Think wins by about 3 on the line, Desperado.
Sure.
Well, what more can be said about So You Think? Yesterday, position, Ronnie.
Words can't describe him. Look, it's the first time I've stood up and said, "Wow, you are a Melbourne. You could well win the Melbourne Cup."
Well, he's got a great draw. He drew barrier 3 last night for the race. So he ploughed through the heavy going yesterday. So that's one query you can tick off the list. Some still doubting whether he can run out the trip. It's impossible to consider that.
I think what you've got to take into consideration too, like he handles any sort of condition of the track. It doesn't really matter what's going to happen.
I don't gush about races.
No, you don't.
Right. Well, I'm going to gush about this bloke.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'll tell you this. I thought he was at a new level on Cox Plate Day, but he went to another level again yesterday because there was every opportunity to beat him yesterday. The track was a bit of a question mark. Backing up was a question mark. Would he settle in a bigger field? That was a question mark. He answered absolutely all of them. And I'll tell you what, if that race had gone another 500 metres, he'd have won by 7 or 8 lengths. Now, he's got to go another 700 metres again beyond that.
Yeah.
That's the question mark that's left.
And
I mean,
what?
I haven't seen a horse to match him. I haven't seen a horse that has done what he's done, so I can't tip against him.
He's 500 metres. Let's have a look at the tote odds and then we'll do an update with Shane. Firstly on the TAB, down the board, we've got Retrieve, $5.30, Rekindled Interest, $3.90, Line Tamer, $13, Smoking. Okay, the runners are down at the start. We've still got a few minutes of betting time.
Think of how good he is when he won the bars, and that's been a wonderful form reference. Back behind them, Kurta Kalari and also Cosmonaut. Perfect Pex is last. Up around the turn, Al Mindoro is swinging for home narrowly from Lion Tamer. Yulunde on the outside. Lion Tamer claims the lead now, swinging for home. Rekindled Interest is into the clear. Digital Fortress is running on. Ulalona's on the outside. Retrieve back near the inside under pressure. Lion Tamer raced away from them early. He raced about 2 or 3, Lion Tamer. From Rekindled Interest, Digital Fortress. Now Retrieve's picking up, but Lion Tamer's away with a long lead. 300 left to go. He's 3 or 4 in front of Rekindled Interest. Retrieve and Digital Fortress. Lion Tamer past the 200. He's 5 lengths in front. Lion Tamer for Huey Bowman. He's got it parcelled up. Lion Tamer racing right away. He'll win the Derby by about 6 lengths. And a lovely pose for the photo. Getting up for second, Presido flashed home and grabbed it ahead of Retrieve. Digital Fortress ran 4th. A break, Rekindled Interest tied, and then El Mindoro. Ulalona followed by Cosmonaut, shoot off, and then came Yulunde. Larry was last to finish. Lion Tamer certainly tamed his rivals in the Derby. A runaway winner. Lion Tamer certainly tamed his rivals in the Derby.
Sure did. He's by a horse called Storming Home. That's the father of Lion Tamer.
He's done an exceptional performance.
To be in the first half a dozen and an awkward barrier. I was very positive on him at Moonee Valley.
They have gone early.
I got a bit carried away.
What about Huey Grass cut your old man, shall we? Just for your makers, soon.
This is an edition of New Zealand's Got Talent. What do you think? Would you give yourself a rating on that one?
It's going to take a while to live that down. We'll be.
No, I would say beyond that.
Race off well, although he was beaten pointlessly by the winner. It's a hard race to assess considering the circumstances on the day. And the winner just destroyed them. I'm more interested to see what the future plans are for the winner with Bjorn.
Just to add that, I don't want to be negative about it. I'm not negative about the winner. The winner's it's an outstanding performance.
Don't get upset.
No, but you didn't really say anything behind it was any good. It's 6 lengths behind it.
Yeah.
But Richard, it's not just about the rest. It's about
absolute pearler of a draw for a horse with a profile like him, who has a little bit of a history of getting on the bit. He'll be just tucked away closer than midfield there, smoking his pipe. And look, obviously a deserved favourite.
Certain if that was 2,500 metres, he'd have won by 6. He'd have beaten those horses by even further. So on that, I can't tip against him. He's a level above them.
I'll just run with him. Let's run with him.
Richard, I am in total agreement with you.
So you think?
Well, he's the highest rated horse that we've had coming into a Melbourne Cup. He exceeds the average Melbourne Cup rating by 2 lengths. And if he runs to his McKinnon rating, he'll win the Cup by 3 lengths. But having said that, you know, he's got to be Far Lap to do it. He's 3/4 of the way on the journey to what Far Lap did. Far Lap won the Cox Plate in 1930, backed up the next year, won the Tops, McKinnon and Melbourne Cup. Is this horse Far Lap? Well, I don't know. I've never seen a horse entered in the Melbourne Cup that hasn't raced beyond 2,000 metres. So I think that it's an absolute guess. I think it's very hard to assert he won't run it. Hard to assert he will. So from a professional point of view, he's made a bit of a mess of the race from a funny perspective. But I'm going to take the chance that he doesn't run it and go for value.
Right. Is American. Interesting horse out of a mare. Irish-bred mare called America, where Stephen come on, we've seen the media puzzles, Bauer come through with lightweights to the Cup. He's a clear chance, this horse.
I would agree. I believe what you saw, it's become the established pattern now for these European horses to have the hit out. Our media puzzle, of course, at Geelong spring to mind, and he'll run very well.
I think he's clearly the best of the overseas invaders. The one thing I loved about him when the gap come, but
it was his first time he'd encountered a bigger field than 9, I think. So, look, I like his acceleration. I think he's got class. I think he's got quality, and he's right in this race.
I have to agree. Seeing is believing.
Of course, I absolutely love him, and I think he's the one to be on for this Melbourne Cup. I cannot see him being out of the 3. Get on at home.
Do you think he's the real deal here for the Cup American?
Well, he follows the same pattern of media puzzle, which won the Geelong Cup, Melbourne Cup double, and Bauer and Crime Scene, who ran in the Geelong Cup and then ran second in the Melbourne Cup. It should be noted on my figures, Media Puzzle is the benchmark for Geelong Cup performances, and his win was 4 lengths higher than American, but that doesn't mean American hasn't got something up his sleeve. I like the horses who've had the one start, and I respect Duff's opinion.
He made it through the Lexus. The biggest win Steve Moran's ever seen in a career spanning 30 years. It's a huge call from Steve. We'll get him to explain it.
By saying that he couldn't win the Lexus, but you've got to believe what you see. Linton dealt with Precedence and Mudra, and he absolutely dealt with Linton. Just that last 100 metres, I think he just wanted to duck in a fraction on Jimmy, and he got going again. I mean, that's as good a Lexus win as you've seen since last year.
Shocking.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to be a lot.
Who I went with last year because of that. And I am supporting you all the way here, Steve. He broke 12 for his last 5 furlongs there. He is one of the most outstanding emerging stayers I've seen for a long, long time. Now, he's an each-way special. Them while you can.
Mike, let's have a look at your full market here, including My Lucky Day.
He's been very well backed, Bruce, $9.50.
That's got to be distributed amongst so many horses. I think he's under the odds at the price, but the computer still thinks he's going to run 3rd. But for mine, he's not really a valuable bet. I think the Platinum Committee has to have a look at the Lexus. It's 3 of the last 5 years. It's rated very, very strong Group 2 level. So, it's about time it got raised, in my opinion. My close friend, Michael Fraser, I've never met a better judge at looking at the horse of Gallop. He said he told me some time ago, he said, this horse has got a stride of a champion stayer, and keep your eye on him. And he's been proven right. And the horse just kept getting better. And as the distances get longer, he gets better. So, he's a serious racehorse, but, at $9, he's probably found his price.
I'm playing trifectas. To me, the 3 like
20, I'll get the first 4. For me, So You Think on top, I'm going to stand him out in my try.
Under the radar, My Lucky Day has racked up to the millimetre 10,000 Ks, and he's done a
win in the Geelong Cup. Desperado, I thought, was a...
Look, I think that Americane's the one for me. I think they're very keen on his chances, the people that are...
Desperado, maybe I might be able to have something on that at big odds.
And Richard, you're shivering your tips off at the moment.
So look, I'm going to stick with the champ. So you think I can't tip against Spec? We're going to see a very good horse, and I suspect that Holberg is a very, very good horse. And to think that they bet $35, I think he's into 26 now.
I have to go with him at the price. I think American, we've had a look at him. He looks a serious racehorse. Shock.
Of the internationals, what about you, David?
I think what we saw on Saturday was special with So You Think. I think we saw something that was world class. The way he stepped up, actually put him in everything. Shocking's obviously a chance.
Sorry, I'm not that biased, but not on the top line. I've gone for Holberg to beat American. So You Think, my lucky day. I know
It's on top choice. Dom, take it away.
Well, for me, punting's all about value. And if you just looked at who might win the race and who's most likely to win the race, well, the computer's got So You Think from Desperado and My Lucky Day. Is there any value in that? What we do have. So the best value bet in the race is Zipping. And I think that Desperado is next, actually the highest rating.
1,000 on Linton and 1,000 on Once Were Wild. So I'm tipping he's been watching the show in the last quarter of an hour. But So You Think here, the $3 favourite for the Melbourne Cup tomorrow. My Lucky Day, the second pick.
Said So You Think. He was 340 a little while ago, now 320. Desperado.
What you think about him running 3,200 metres, because that's the query that a lot of people have been putting on him.
No problem. I'd say I want him to do it, train him to do it, and he's bred to do it. So what are we waiting for?
And precedence, what about it?
6 months ago, when it comes to So You Think, and someone said to you, Sam, he'll win the Cox Plate, his second Cox Plate, he'll win the McKinnon, and he'll come out and he'll be the heaviest back favourite in the history of Melbourne Cup in the last 50 years, and he will win it. What would you have thought?
I wouldn't.
Racing the 150th time the Cup's underway. Illustrious Blue a bit slow. So You Think bounced out well. So did Desperado. Savit jumped away well. Once Were Wild on the improve towards the leaders. American just off them, followed by Harris Tweed. Precedence getting over close to the inside. Bucciolati guiding over their heels towards the rail. Shootout was next. Harris Tweed on the improve. Once Were Wild for Jimmy Cassidy and Gay Waterhouse with a 4-length lead. Harris Tweed, Desperado. Zavita's running fourth, 1,200 left to go. Mr. Medici is fifth, and they're followed by So You Think and Holberg together. Holberg is out 3 wide. One to Turkey Trick. He's followed by Shootout, and then My Lucky Day starting a move now. Followed by American, and behind them Illustrious Blue, Red Ruler, Campanologist, Bucciolati, Managar. Profound Beauty, well back in the field is Linton. He's being followed then by Precedence, Zipping, then Monaco Consul, and towards the end still is Shocking and Master O'Reilly. Up to the turn now, Once Were Wild, the narrow leader from Harris Tweed, Desperado. So You Think is poised on the outside as they swing around the turn. Next is Mr. Medici. Back behind those horses then is Shootout Ends of 8. They're on the swing for home. And here Desperado trying to get up on the inside. Once Were Wild, Harris Tweed, My Lucky Day. Turkey Trick stayed on the inside. He's dashed to the front. Here comes So You Think down the outside. With 250 metres to go. So You Think is raced up. American is a danger. Then Harris Tweed. Turkey Trick the rail. So You Think in front. American is coming at him hard. American race past So You Think, and then My Lucky Day. American for France. Coming right away. American is coming away. American Trevian. Scored by 2 lengths My Lucky Day. So You Think has run third. And coming home very solidly fourth was Zipping. He's followed closely by Harris Tweed, Precedence, and then Holberg, and behind them Managar. Further back is Turkey Trick, Illustrious.
It was a magnificent cup. American for Gerald Moncey and the famous Alain de Royer Dupré from France. The Aussie owners have won the Melbourne Cup.
Stayed on the inside. He's dashed to the front. Here comes So You Think down the outside. With 250 metres to go. So You Think it's raced up. American is a danger. Then Harris Tweed. Turkey Trick the rail. So You Think in front. American is coming at him hard. American race past So You Think, and then My Lucky Day. American for France. Coming right away, American. American is coming away. American Trevian. Scored by 2 lengths My Lucky Day. So You Think has run third. And coming home very solidly fourth was Zipping. He's followed
28, 24, 3 and 4, 10.90 and 3.20 for American. My Lucky Day.
Terrific cup. Might be one of the best 1, 2, 3, 4 finishes ever. The form coming into the race, American was 1-1, 1-1. You don't see this very often in a Melbourne Cup anyway. Runner-up, My Lucky Day was 1-1-1. So You Think, Superstar was 1-1-1, 1-1. It's hardly ever that you see one set of picket fences in a Melbourne Cup, let alone 3, and they ran 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he's an outstanding horse, this. He's the best stayer in the world by a long way, I'm saying. His record speaks for itself. He's anyway, but his class carried him a long way there. It was a sensational race. It was the best cup I've ever seen.
It's one of the best I've seen too, and I have to agree.
Australian racing circles, not only within the industry, but outside of it, the sale of So You Think after the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. It's potentially the last time that we'll see this great horse racing in Australia. The limit.
Absolutely. Look, he's got a rating, a time form rating of 133, right? And that's extreme, you know. We saw Golda Kova win there this morning, right? She has the same rating as he has. But she won her 3rd Breeders' Cup. That shows you what people think of this horse. Look, you already own High Chaparral, so why buy a horse like this? You know, that's our business. Okay.
Okay.
For home, about 500 left to go. St Ives, the leader from Glen Isla Crossing. Right behind them, Banry Maeve outside of Niblick. Lakedrose moved up and he's poised on the outside. And then About Me, it's St Ives still in front, 400 to go. A length and a half, Glen Isla Crossing. Niblick's winding up. Lakedrose, the widest runner. Then Silky Smooth. St Ives still kicking on down on the inside. Here's Niblick now. He's starting to lengthen up the middle of the course. St Ives from Niblick. Lakedrose can't get there. Niblick, the big danger here to St Ives. Niblick went straight past St Ives, the final 100. Niblick, promising horse coming away. Niblick drew away, scored by 2 lengths St Ives. Glen Isla Crossing stayed on for 3rd and Taraman made ground for 4. Then came Banry Maeve.
For St Ives, very well backed, and Glen Isla Crossing running a hell of a cheeky.
Gun sprinter Haylist was today cleared by Racing Victoria's vets, setting up a much-anticipated match race with fellow superstar Black Caviar. And such is the...
Currently $1.65, Haylist $3, last...
On Emirates Stakes Day, this is the Patnack Farm Classic, and what a classic it should be. One for the purists of race. Show you that she's quite backable on the tote at $2 shorter than
his split ticket.
And he is a flying machine. Let's have a look at his win. She is. This is the big girl, number 6, Black Caviar, unbeaten. Might just be the best sprinting mare I've seen. She can...
Group 1 class mares look like Hamilton Maidens. Look, she's, as you know, unbeaten 7 from 7. She's running these freak times being eased up. Look, there's a live chance she's too good for them, which makes her the best in the world.
Well, hey? Don't worry too much about the drift here on track. The Sporting Bet market mover is the mighty mare, number 6, Black Caviar.
Racing. Black Caviar jumps pretty well near the outside. Haylist seemed to jump out okay. Melito, one of the first to show in the early stages, but it's Eagle Falls up the middle of the track who has the lead. Black Caviar's out deep in second placing. Haylist just off them with Melito. Star Witness stalking Black Caviar. Hortensia second last. All Silent last of all. So they go past the 800 metres and it's now Black Caviar out wide. Eagle Falls close to the middle. Haylist between them. So the 2 favourites are right up there. Melito tracking them. Star Witness still right behind Black Caviar, followed by Hortensia and All Silent. Coming down to the 400 metre mark now, and Black Caviar the narrow leader. Schofield getting a little busy on Haylist. Star Witness peels over the heels of the mare. He's a big danger. Melito's putting in a run. Black Caviar still the leader. Malum hasn't really moved on her. She's 2 in front. Star Witness second. Haylist can't go on. Hortensia runs on. Black Caviar though holds Star Witness at bay. She's unbeaten 8 out of 8. What a champion she is. Black Caviar beat Star Witness by 3.5 lengths. Hortensia third, All Silent 4. The 400 metre mark now, and Black Caviar the narrow leader. Schofield getting a little busy on Haylist. Star Witness peels over the heels of the mare. He's a big danger. Melito's putting in a run. Black Caviar still the leader. Malum hasn't really moved on her. She's 2 in front. Star Witness second. Haylist can't go on. Hortensia runs on. Black Caviar though holds Star Witness at bay. She's unbeaten 8 out of 8. What a champion she is. Black Caviar beat Star Witness by 3.5 lengths. Hortensia third, All Silent 4. Back behind them is Melito. Haylist, well, he's a lot better than that, folks. So he really weakened out of it. He's second last, and Eagle Falls last home. Great to watch. Great to see a champion in full flight. That's what we've seen. She's never been beaten. 8 for 8. And she's lifted Ben Malum onto the main stage.
Freakish, isn't she? Absolutely freakish.
And for Mellon and Ben Mellon, what a
quality lot of horses, and it's simply awesome, wasn't she? It was amazing, you know. Like I've got the pleasure of being very closely involved, but I think it'd make the hair stand up in the back of anyone's neck.
Looks like she's absolutely cantering. Looks like she's doing it at half pace. Then they put up the time. She's run 1:7.96, so she's broken 1:8. The course record here on a lightning fast track is 1:7.16.
With a tailwind, that no.
With a tailwind held by a glacier. And she's done it comfortably. She's absolutely murdered some very good horses. I just can't say enough about this mare.
We are a believer now. Black Caviar. What a superstar she could be.
Well, I said she was the best sprinting mare I've ever seen. If she keeps going the way she's going, she might be able to drop the mare off. But
into the plain stuff, isn't she?
She's like a Ferrari, mate. And, yeah, she's something special.
Sprinters along with Takeover Target, of course, but she's the best I've seen.
We rang Pat Hyland at home. Now, Pat Hyland rode the Great Vane. He won't hear of any sprinter being better than Vane. You know, when the Haruba, he said yesterday from his home, she is clearly the best sprinter I've seen since Vane. So the accolades are rolling in.
Oh, shit, there isn't it?
A classic Black Caviar putting on one of the greatest displays we've ever seen down the Flemington Straight. And she is now, Ronnie Duffy, the world's highest ranked sprinter as a result.
And deservedly so, Joe. What a carnival. Just when you think that it can't get any better, it does. And we may have saved the best till last. So much quality over this carnival. We may have seen three champions, American, So You Think, and Black Caviar. Black Caviar is just a superstar. She beat up, you analysed that field yesterday, and she beat up one of the hottest sprint fields ever assembled and made them look like maideners. She is a champion.
Summed her up as an...
And let's have a look at the Super Tab readout before we go to David Gutley to give us an update of how awkwardly drawn, but this is his distance, $14. Trusting needs to stand up and be counted. Drum Beats, the lightweight suits, $10. Palacio de Crystal, terrific mare. The drawing track certainly brings her right into the race.
No movement. Palacio de Crystal, 9 to 10.
Trying to balance up next, and he's being followed then by Snow Alert and then Chasm and LA Wonder. Albert the Fat, the leader. Snipers Bullet a neck away, coming around the home turn. A length and a half to Trusting. Lunyat Forever right behind them. Captain Sonador and Black Piranha. Dowdow's off the track, followed by Drum Beach. Wall Street's out very wide when they corner. Further back, Rivera trying to recover. Then came Snow Alert. They're on the swing for home now in the Emirates. Sniper's Bullet went up and took the lead from Albert the Fat. Trusting is right there. Wider Lunyat Forever. Dowdow. They're followed by Captain Sonador, Black Piranha, Wall Street coming down the outside, and then came Chasm. Dowdow out wide and Lunyat Forever with Trusting. They get the Sniper's Bullet. Here's Wall Street coming and Chasm starting to join in now. Wall Street, Dowdow, Lunyat Forever. Chasm coming at them. It's Wall Street, Dowdow, Lunyat Forever, Trusting and Chasm. There's about 5 across the track. Wall Street poked his nose in front. Wall Street. Give it to Wall Street in the photo finish from Dowdow, Lunyat Forever or Chasm. Trusting close up, and then Snow Alert who got home, followed by Drum Beats. Sniper's Bullet just behind these, and then Palacio de Crystal, followed further. Kiwi looks like he'll get it. Wall Street.
He'll get it. Dowdow will get second.
Fourth TOB number 10. Yet forever.
Yeah.
And, that's
16 minutes away from the running of race 8. It's the Queen's Cup over 2,600 metres for many of the consolation for many of the hopefuls who were trying to get into last Tuesday's field. Let's have a look at the 710 for accept.
Forward to it. Let's go down the opener. 480 the top fluctuation. Into 440. Well supported. Deserves a change of luck. 20 now. Hello. Keep coming. $4.
Williams from barrier 1.
Now Berger Williams will be trying to find a way out from there. He's still midfield or a touch worse on the rail with nowhere to go at the moment. Followed by Mr. Charlie Easing off the fence, and then Persian Star as they swing around the turn. Well back in the field, still as faint perfume peeling to the outside. Drunken Sailor last into the straight, where Seagallion led narrowly, exceptionally still with a kick to offer. She goes to the lead at the top of the straight. Then Green Peddler down the outside. Now comes My Bentley running on well. Persian Star, Mudra's got into the clear. He's come for the run now. Exceptionally gobbled up by Dream Peddler. My Bentley hits the lead on the outside. Here's Persian Star, Mudra coming in Eastern area. Dream Peddler kicks back. Mudra's coming hard with Green Peddler. Mudra, Green Peddler from Persian Star. Cape Cover, but Mudra, he deserved that one. Mudra beat Cape Cover a half a length. Either Dream Peddler or Persian Star for third a photo. Just behind them, exceptionally above average. Eastern Area, Faint Perfume out Whitestone.
Well, Paddy Welsh, I hope you did follow him. Bigelow, he told us earlier. Mudra, he said, just about the biggest go. And there he is, getting home. And
Sailor last into the clear. He's coming with a run now. Exceptionally gobbled up by Dream Peddler. My Bentley hits the lead on the outside. Here's Persian Star Mudra coming in Eastern Area. Dream Peddler kicks back. Mudra's coming hard with Dream Peddler. Dream Peddler from Persian Star. Cape Cover, but Mudra, he deserved that one. Mudra beat Cape Cover a half a length. Either Dream Peddler or Persian Star for third, a photo. Just behind them, exceptionally above average.
Problem about this horse ever training off. He looked pretty good to me, and he looks to be a pretty tough type. 380, 180 for Mudra, the Sporting Bet market mover.
Sandown Classic and Zipping going for 4 in a row. He's the hottest of favourites on the tote. He's $1.80, $1.70, $1.80. Of course, you can see that a late scratch.
Into $2. That was the punters on course Q. They jumped on.
The bridle a little bit at the moment, and Managar last. Less than 800 left to go. And exceptionally out by nearly a length. Zipping, stalking her now, creeping a little bit closer as they come to the turn. 2 La Rocket, Gingadood, and 1.5 to Managar, being pushed along at this point. Now they're on the swing for home. History awaits Zipping. It's exceptionally first into the straight by a little over a length. Zipping now given full ball by Hall. Will he handle this ground? He's trying very hard. Gingadood switches to the inside. Then Managar. La Rocket dropped off. They're inside the final 400 metres now. Zipping warming to the task. He's moved up to exceptionally. Gingadood comes with a run. Managar's warming up late. Zipping narrowly. He's in for the fight. 150 to go. Gingadood coming at him. But Zipping pins his ears back, and away he goes. 4 straight classics. You're a quaddy beauty. It's Zipping to win it by 2 lengths. Managar dives it exceptionally, and Gingadood in photos for the minor issue.
Well, that's great. It's great to come along and see history and be part of it with a terrific horse to make it 4 in a row. Well done to all the team, Williams.
Being the Sandown Classic, which perhaps could be renamed for future. The Zipping Classic. Why not?
Well, I tell you what, he's
It's Happy Sequel narrowly from Northern Shift. To the outside went the Boom Colt Moshe. Then Gloria's Peak further back to Carmen. Mud Sparred down the outside was Little Mama, but Moshe he came up on the outside and he went bang. Hey, we're looking at another Nursery of Champion, all right. He put 5 lengths on them in a twinkling of an eye. Happy Sequel, Northern Shift, Gloria's Peak battle on. Then Little Mama, Bianca Rossa from the back is coming home, but done. He's got his mouth wide open on this winner Moshe as he wins by 6 lengths. Second, Bianca Rossa in a great debut, and third, there's a wall of them there.
Rick, I think you're right. I think it's a very strong family. Firstly, Black Caviar, and now Moshe. Really, you're never in doubt when these first two are off the bit. I was looking at the riders of the 2 leaders, and they had a look over their right shoulder, and they were scrubbing their horses along, and there's Dwayne Dunn just sitting as calm as ever on the outside. Champion and unbeaten mare, Black Caviar, Group 1 winner now.
Horse war between the Singaporean Rocket Man, who certainly attracted a lot of attention in the race. And a lot of the pre-race talk concerning Rocket Man was him having his first run today on the clockwise direction. Of course, all his form in Singapore's left-handed, and his only run in Dubai was as well when he ran second behind Kinsale King. But the connections that Fred Crabbe has certainly made a very astute move in getting Felix Coetzee booked for this campaign at a very early stage. And Felix was able to shoot him up the far side rail to go through and join One World in what worked into an epic duel over the last 100 metres. Onto the turn of the Jockey Club sprint. Dim Sum in front of Sweet Sonnet. Multi Glory's off the bridle. Rocket Man fourth on the fence from Little Bridge. Now Sacred Kingdom gets going. Shot past Our Lucky Baby. One World and Lucky Nine just labouring a fraction. It's Dim Sum the leader, but Sacred Kingdom's got him in his sights. Little Bridge running a cheeky race. One World's running on from Lucky Nine. Sacred Kingdom's going after Dim Sum. Rocket Man is spearing through near the rails. Rocket Man and One World the outside. Oh, Rocket, I'd say. Well, they couldn't be split. Absolutely nothing between them. And the fact that One World laid in a fraction over the last bit, which is the trait of the horse. Let's go to shots in.
He looks well. I mean, he's a nice up-and-comer. He's only a 3-year-old, and I'm very interested to see how he goes. Unlucky, though, in gate 12. Been a good walker as well, but I think it's a little bit beyond him. Let Me Fight. Did I do him for you? I don't think 2. But number 8, One World, he looked fabulous last time. And
this could be the day in the light for Rocket Man. And JJ, the jet plane, it has to be said, has beaten Sacred Kingdom the 2 times that.
And if successful today, will put his name in the record book as the first horse to make it 3. Start today, and it's the stablemate Dim Sum tearing along in the lead by a length and a half to Ultra Fantasy. Rocket Man in striking distance third. JJ the jet plane, Sacred Kingdom next with Sacred Kingdom in a pocket for the moment. Then Let Me Fight, Cerise Cherry, Kingsgate Native, and a long break to Green Birdie and Lucky 9 as they straighten up. And Dim Sum is the leader from Ultra Fantasy. Rocket Man's charging at them, so's JJ the jet plane. Sacred Kingdom back towards the rails, has got work to do, but he's digging in now. The champ, Sacred Kingdom. He's going after Rocket Man and JJ the jet plane. Rocket Man in front. JJ, he won't go away. JJ lunges at Rocket Man and JJ the jet plane. JJ the jet plane beats Rocket Man and Sacred Kingdom in an epic finish to the 2010 sprint. Then Let Me Fight, Hortensia, Lucky 9, Green Birdie, Kingsgate Native, Dim Sum, Little of Let Me Fight from the John Morster.
Fantastic race. And only a slender margin separating them at the end.
Yeah, for the punters, but a new players emerged here in the shape of Miss Octopussy.
At this stage, 12 to 13, the silly odds for Impressive Eagle to touch a class about her.
2 is Impressive Eagle, 4,182 in the quaddie. Boss needs to win here to win the Jockey Challenge, although Millam's ridden 3. Boss going for 3. You get there on points. Good at
one back and moving up on the outside, Take All of Me. They're followed by Avionics. Gerazana starting to weave through and has got the back of Very Discreet. And they're being followed by Impressive Eagle and El Ferrari. Only 5 covered them. Netra narrowly from Miss Octopussy. Then Very Discreet. Around them, Impressive Eagle in the orange silks. And then Take All of Me. Gerazana's just behind this leading bunch of 5. Around the turn they race now. Very Discreet, Miss Octopussy, Netra. Impressive Eagle wide. Gerazana trying to ease over their heels. It's now on the outside. Impressive Eagle hitting the lead from Miss Octopussy, who kicks Miss Octopussy, and on the outside, Impressive Eagle. It's very close between them. I couldn't split them. Third will be Very Discreet from either Status Symbol or Gerazana next over.
3 wins for the day and steals the Jockey Challenge off Benny Melham. Quite from a long way.
From Miss Octopussy, who kicks Miss Octopussy, and on the outside, Impressive Eagle. It's very close between them. I couldn't split them. Third will be Very Discreet from either Status Symbol or Gerazana next over.
3 wins for the day and steals the Jockey Challenge off Benny Melham. Quite from a long way.
She has been well.
I have to look at them on